Alrighty then, gamers. Good evening to all of you. Hope everyone's had a productive fighting game week and nice Sunday afternoon so far, because now let's get dangerous for the next 3 hours. You are now watching Bounty Hunters FT7, and we are a weekly show match event open to beginners, intermediates, and the cream of the crop of the community alike. And tonight we are playing 7 matches of Guilty Gear Strive in the first to 7 wins format. 7. That's a lot of sevens. I'm your usual host, Kyuke, and without further stalling, let's quickly go through our matches for tonight before it's time to start. Right, so I've done a rarely, what's the word I'm looking for? A remarkably little of preparing for tonight. So fuck it, we'll do it live. Let's see what we got. So we swinged OLC versus Matcha Mai to the first slot in the last moment. Yeah, once again a match where Matcha Mai is set up sort of, I don't want to say against all odds, because we are talking about, player, not just player, but players who are capable of, getting through all kinds of difficult situations, and Mai is kind of an OG fighting game player, and we're constantly challenging her to perform better and better. We started at, at what kind of number would I pull out of my ass? Actually, I'm not gonna speculate with the numbers, but Mai has had very realistic growth as of recent. Even though she hasn't won too many of her Bounty Hunters matches, the quality of her opponents has gone up very steadily. And yet, despite all of that, she's performing magnificently almost every single set. So there's that. In the second slot, we got big names. So your boy, Giovanna player representing Turkey, back at it again, first time in a while. And, it's gonna go against one of the finest, the Destroyer class player from Norway, Strelitzia, Asuka player, definitely one of the harder hitting Asuka players that Bounty Hunters is boasting in the regular section. Probably a very interesting matchup, as generally Asuka matchups tend to be. It's no matter who you play, it's a matchup where you really gotta know how things work, gotta have patience, and gotta have those sort of clutch decision-making moments, because it's a matchup that hangs by a thread one way or another. One mismanagement of your spells or mana can turn it one way or another. Then in the third matchup slot, we've got the pair who's been trying to troubleshoot their issues for a good hour, I want to say already. The latest is that they got their connection working in player match strictly, or player rooms. Whether that's gonna be the case, let's not jinx it just yet. But whether that's gonna work when it's their turn, nobody knows. I don't know. Gaben doesn't know. Our Lord and Savior Ishiwatari does not know. But it'll be a nice surprise if we actually get to play Horizon versus LagBoy. In the fourth slot, we've got, of course, part of our regular crew, Radune. Needs absolutely no introduction. Anybody who's watched Bounty Hunters before knows who and what Radune is about. But one of our 2 newcomers of the evening today. First one of them is gonna be Froyo, representing, I believe, United Kingdom. Yes, indeed. So this is gonna be UK versus Sweden match. In the matchup slot following that, the number 5, we've got Worst, back from, I guess, traveling / vacation / little detour all across Europe. We did have our, attempts for Worst to play through all kinds of, you know, means through hotel Wi-Fi, stuff like that. Didn't work out, but as far as I understand, we are back in the home soil and in the confines of our beloved Finnish perfect internet infrastructure. So should be a pretty decent match. Worst's match today is Cass, another Baiken player, definitely one of our go-to Baiken players on Bounty Hunters. Finland versus UK, bow that one. Then the second newcomer of the week, Tanya Ruiz, another Baiken player representing Spain. I'm gonna go off against HiWill. HiWill's gonna be playing Bedman this time around. HiWill, of course, had a couple of matches in a row, I believe, with Elfelt, right? We had the Maria versus HiWill sort of, whatchamacallit, a little bit of micro rivalry there. The Nago versus Elfelt. But now back on Bedman, improved Bedman as well. I think this will be the first time after the patch that we'll get to see you know, high-level Bedman, really see what the changes are about on these characters, because there were quite a few of really relevant ones. And who better to showcase them but a player like Will. And then of course we're gonna end the evening with a bang. It's a little fun one, Norwegian mirror match. These players actually, as far as I know, play quite a bit, but we of course we had so many Norwegian goats to fit into this card tonight, so kind of had to squeeze it a little, squeeze Norwegian players together, and I believe Bliskke and Maria was still fine going at it, so, you know, now the rest of the world will get to see what that thing is about as well. But let's turn our gaze to our number one matchup slot of the evening, which is going to be OLC May from Hungary. Gonna go up against Matcha Mai Sin from Norway. Norwegians, of course, once again representing en masse. It's not even a you know, rare sight nowadays to have like 4 Norwegians in the same card. We've even been thinking about that, you know, full Norwegian crew versus the rest of the world for Bounty Hunters at some point. I think the Norwegian regular crew is missing only 1 player, so it's definitely doable. Now, I just actually realized I think this is unintentional, but the player messages kind of match there with OLC and Mai. That's kind of cool. Either way, this would probably be, I think, as with all of Mai's matches, Mai is probably going to be the underdog here against slightly tougher odds. Yet, you should never count out a player who Matcha Mai is, for she's full of surprises, and, you know, depending on how well she's prepared, she might show us some really good stuff. Definitely a matchup that, from Sin's point of view, you definitely need to prepare for, but a matchup that is very doable for Sin. Sin is, of course, like super good with anti-airs. You always need strong anti-airs to tame May. Sin definitely has that covered, and the neutral game works in Sin's favor as well. Both characters hit extremely hard. May probably hits a little harder, but Sin has that very stable output of damage with most of his strings and combos building a lot of meter, and usually at the end of your combos you're gonna have a 50 that you are absolutely going to spend on a Kara Super, take the wall from anywhere from the screen. Alright, let's see how it's gonna go. Immediately into the instant air dash, which is probably gonna be the go-to game plan, or rather layer 1 game plan for May players. Good timing on the burst, pushing OLC to the corner, finds the Elk, 1-2. And prompting immediate burst from Elk, going straight into the FRC. I think Mai missed the the usual jumpy FRC mix-up there. No matter though. Got the combo. I think missed the 6 heavy Gatling there, so missed the full route. Which is slightly unfortunate. I think that could have actually led into... It was so close for Mai having 50 meter as well. And if she does... Oh, but there's the 5K. Or sorry, 5 heavy. 5 heavy for Mai is gonna be probably... And not even probably, just straight out her biggest cash out tool at neutral. If you shove yourself into that button, it's big counter hit time. She's not gonna... I think she doesn't even need the 50 meter for that. It's usually gonna just go into a very big route. So one of the most important things to look out for, that you don't shove yourself into that extremely disjointed button. Right, gonna dash cancel off. Mai also first nice whip punish there. Actually, not even a whip punish, just a straight up counter poke at that range. Perfect spacing there. Of course, you're gonna be seeing a lot of 2S from Sin. Not only is that Sin's pretty much safest button to whiff, also the best button for hitbox, hurtbox, but also a really good button to prevent dolphins from coming in at neutral. So you often see high-level Sin swing that around quite a bit at neutral. But speaking of neutral jump into jump heavy, another very common sequence from Mei players. Charging to 6 heavy, oh, but charging too long, so Matcha Mai is gonna get a very nice whip punish with Elk here. Out of the corner, moving out, the frame trap into beak. 2 does score a small hit for Mai, but lack the stamina after that to cancel into anything relevant. You gotta remember, every time you land hits on Sin, unless you can spend meter immediately, it's generally gonna be super important that Sin has at least one more stamina bar in his stamina gauge in order to gain access to Kara cancels to get, you know, the most relevant rewards. So OLC starting with 1 win, but definitely Matcha Mai had on both of, like pretty much on all of those rounds, a chance to end it in her favor. Here comes the splits. Mai staying very, very patient here, but extends herself in the end into that 5 heavy. Now, 5 heavy is a very interesting button in terms of frame data, where if you just look at the recovery, you might think it's not whip punishable at all, because it barely has any recovery, but the long startup and the long active frames make it actually whip punishable if you are sort of reacting to the startup and starting your whip punish at that point. Stamina into, ooh, finds the counter hit. Don't even need close slash if you are close enough to Gatling into 2 heavy. And a full combo, yes indeed. OLC has 50 meter to defend with here, but very hard to do so against Sin. Has that safe jump against all characters that have slower than 9 framers to contend with on the round start, or on the wall break rather. Thrown into the corner, followed up by the split mix-ups. And a very late 6B, but works out on the landing frames. Finding a far slash once again into, you know it. Same situation as before. OLC is so close to that 50 meter. Oh, I couldn't even have access to the YRC option potentially afterwards. Slowing down the frames, that's surely gonna get her the whip punish. I have been using that a little more as of recent, I've noticed. Especially from those air dash situations when you are in the air above the opponent, use the FRC, slow down their frames. If they actually swung into it, then they're surely gonna get whip punished. Speaking of whip punishes, that's a good challenge there on, I think that was 5 heavy from Mai from Beak Triber. So unless you are in position to dash far slash or otherwise, ooh, okay, gets a small DP punish here from 5 heavy. Unless you are in spacing to swing with your S buttons to whip punish Mai, you can definitely go into Beak Triber instead and utilize the tip range disjoint in order to leverage that, you know, prevent yourself from swinging into those disjoints of that big button. 1-2, very low on stamina here, so Mai using the Wild Assault in order to build the 50 meter is kind of usually how Sin pressure revolves around. You get to leverage 3 different resources, and you can convert one resource into another in order to stall for more pressure resets. However, was not able to open OLC up there. Sin is kind of traditionally a character who does have that pseudo high-low, the 21 frame high-low mix-up between Hoof and Elk. But it's not the strongest for sure for opening people up. So Sin tends to be this character who much rather keeps up the pressure, boxes the opponent in the corner, and exerts his sort of sphere of influence. Keeps you there, unable to really do anything, because a lot of your whiffs and or your jumps can just simply be punished. That was an interesting anti-air there with the 5K. 5K really is the demon button from Mai. Very one of the unsung heroes, unless you are in the know of, you know, how good some of those buttons are from Mai. Not only sort of low invulnerable or hopping off the ground, but hitting extremely far. The only thing that thing is missing is really like disjoints. Alright, it's a big counter hit from 6B. Almost a too good of a anti-air. Sometimes Sin has a problem where like you're hitting your 6B so far, so like far away from yourself, because the hitbox is so good that your big driver doesn't actually connect. Trying to find the anti-air, but not able to do so. Now OLC out of there and pressuring. I tried to swing with that too heavy anti-air, but Mai used the jump D, which delays your momentum in the air and will punish especially the high recovery anti-airs. And closing it out with a good old DP, no longer cancelable into RTL for basically a wall break from anywhere. But oh, I think Mai actually wanted to do a DP there, but due to the left-right shenanigans, turned into a hoop stomp and ended up anti-airing. OLC pressuring in the corner, plus frames out of the beach ball. Tried to swing a 6P, but OLC is low profile with that 2S, to some extent at least. Oh, close slash, big choice here for anti-airs. We don't anti-air with small buttons here. We take the big money. Swinging with the 6 speed, not quite reaching the jump heavy landing frames. Here comes the conversion. In the previous version, could have probably converted into a Kara Super. Not this time around. You can't Kara Super DPs anymore. I think as much as, you know, Sin players were lamenting losing the Kara Super options from their DPs, I think the biggest like value is not necessarily from reversal situations, but during just like your BMB combos. Like sometimes you just want to route into a DP ender, or you're just like kind of low on stamina and you would just like to do one strong special move that you cancel into super. That used to be you going into DP and then doing the Kara Tyrant Barrel, but that option is no longer, unfortunately, available for the sake of the game balance. That was a very dangerous whiff there. Wanted a close slash, got far slash for her troubles. One of the very universal plights of many characters. Generally, don't want to swing that far slash unless you are actually far away from the opponent. Ooh, nice save there! And that actually definitely worth the 50 that Matcha Mai spent. This could be the earn. This is where it starts. But with a very decent momentum. And OLC not having the burst available just yet, so we do have a potentially very good opportunity to do damage. There it is, close slash. No better button than that to start things off with Sync Hisk. Through the wall, and now OLC finding themselves in a situation where even if they burst, it might just not be enough anymore. Yep, has to go for it there, and now it's, you know, no resources, just gotta get in raw dog and somehow make this work. That's a big starter. That could actually be the starter of a comeback. Matcha Mai, though, slowly building a lot of resources. Full burst, almost full tension, all options available. Drifts out of that, and that's a punish. That's very classic Guilty Gear situation. You had to use everything that you got, the resources that you had, in order to try to get to the position where you could checkmate, but once we get there, we just don't have enough meter to fight against the opponent's meter. So Matcha Mai had so many options available here, and OLC can't just go into that guard willy-nilly. It's like you try to force it, Mai uses YRC, you're minus 10, then what? Mai still has 2 wild assaults and a 50 to go, and you have nothing. You just can't take that situation. OLC had to bait there. But then you bait, the opponent is out, and you know how it goes. Resource battle this game. Resource management game. That's why many of us love Guilty Gear so much. Such a beloved franchise. Ooh, tried to go for the whiff punish. Mistimed a little, but you can definitely see the right idea in Matcha's eyes. Trying to wait for that 5 heavy whiff from Mai, and then trying to whiff punish it with the bar slash. Timing is very delicate though. Here's the YRC, get off me, Matcha Mai with the backdash, and then ready to 6P on the landing of from the Dolphin. Ooh, dangerous. Whiff on the air throw. Missing the DP, but we are good. Play the counter play in case OLC wanted to stand up and try to do something about... Oh, look at that 5K! The leggy! Who are you crossing up here? Alright, a little bit of a whiff punish there, far slash, but didn't have the charge time at that point. I think OLC was micro-dashing forward a little. +3, but FD very good from OLC, pushing Matcha away from the relevant pressure range. That is the mortal enemy of Sin's 3K. If it's FD, you are almost never at a relevant range where you could push your opponents. Again, look at that! Look at that spacing! There's nothing that Sin can really do there to prevent you from that backdashing anymore. Unless you, like, card commit into a cancel. Ah, if only it was previous patch, we could have ended really easily there, but Matcha Mai had to go for a difficult combo that they, in the end, dropped. No matter, though. Still in dominant position, and now getting ever so closer to OLC's score. OLC started very tough, very convincingly, 3 games in a row. But Matcha Mai is a tournament player, is a competitive player of many different games. This is just warm-up for her. Trying to intercept with a jump gate, very common button, really nice one, hits very high, and easy to hit confirm as well. Ooh, trying to whip punish with the 6 heavy, alright! Into. It's a little too far to connect. I think there is actually some Mai character-specific combo route problems there if Sin wants to go for that particular route. Counter hit, spending the 1 stamina. We still have 1 for the pressure ahead. There we go, the FRC that Mai was looking on the first round. Looking for the throw whiff. No reaction from OLC. Instant air backdash, jump heavy. One of the most common shimmy options for Sin Kisk. Nice! That looked, for a moment I thought Matcha actually whiffed that conversion, but able to pull it through. OLC deposits the 50 meter, puts Matcha Mai in the corner. Very late FRC trying to catch Matcha, struggling out. She's staying fairly patiently. Oh, look at that! Push them away! See the up dolphin coming in, dash out of there, and that up dolphin whipping. If there's even a small crevice behind the opponent's back, you are gonna miss and you're gonna become punishable. And there, Matcha Mai just casually, as if it was any Sunday ever, taking that burst from OLC and bringing it 3 points even. This is where the match starts, boys and girls.
Mankind knew that they can. Duel 1.
Mai seems to be on fire, but what is the adjustment from OLC here? There we go, really nice with punish. Try to go for the dash cancel again from what's that, far slash. Yeah, no more of those far slashes. Get them out of there. DP. Oh, that is gonna score a punish. I'm actually not sure if that would have led into any relevant combo for Sin, but OLC, just in case, going for the burst. And definitely worth it, pushing Matcha into the corner, big conversion. We have the hard knockdown as well, and now YRC. Ooh, alright, we are feeling cheeky. Matcha Mai canceled from a low attack level move, which means the hoof cancel can definitely be interrupted by fast things. YRC now in turn from OLC. And the dashing 2K. Very good kind of option against Sin, because, you know, one of the go-to neutral skip tools for Sin would be L-Hunt, which is technically vulnerable against any hitbox that is active on the ground. And 2K from Mai, I think, is not the most active button out there, but with the picture-perfect precision, can definitely use that. A big conversion here. Unfortunately, Matcha Mai no stamina nor the 50 stat. Ooh, no, not the tension. OLC chooses to spend the burst here. However, that is definitely not paying off. That was a little bit of a hero maneuver here from OLC. Might have actually instantly regretted it after they let that burst rock. Now Matcha is going into this last round with a notable advantage. 5 heavy once again. I think the 5 heavy is not the best punish on Sin coming down from that DP, although I think that was not OLC's intention to punish with either, just kind of like what they were swinging in that situation. Just swing 5 heavy, and Matcha just happened to do those DPs all of those times. Alright, switch sides. Looking dangerous, dropping the combo, but looking for the way out immediately as soon as Matcha Mai's legs left the ground, ready to unleash that up dolphin, which is one of her, you know, situational anti-airs for sure. Pretty decent reward as well if you manage to catch the opponent. And if it's blocked, generally gonna lead into plus frame situation. Is it? Wait, is it plus frames? If it goes on the way up, it should be plus frames most of the time, especially if the opponent is airborne. Oh, there we go! The instant air backdash jump heavy finally finding prey as a shimmy option. 6P, reaching far, reaching wide. One of the furthest reaching 6Ps in the game. It's a little slower than some of the best ones, but definitely makes up for it in range. Ooh, that was a big one. Actually, that went into a massive combo on an airborne counter hit. Generally, if you counter hit on grounded opponents, you're just gonna get like a 2K 2D, some kind of a small conversion. But if the opponent has already left the ground, it's gonna actually pop them up really high and allow like no stamina consumption combo. Pop out of there, up to the other side. Oh no, faking it! Another one, this time. Mai blocking perfectly. Oh, okay, was very close with that blue RC and slowed down frames. OLC almost got themselves whip punished. Now get out of there. DP immediately into the corner. OLC says, no, I don't want to be here. Able to weasel them their way out of that block string. 6P once again on the landing frames. Next hit confirm is gonna be big. At least if Mai managed to get it. Dangerous anti-air situation, swings to the other side. I think OLC tried to land safely, tried to hold block, but Matcha Mai had already skipped to the other side, so getting a little bit of a cross-under mix-up there. And once again, evening it out. They're just going neck to neck as we are slowly sliding towards the championship rounds. 2 more for either player would be it to take it home. Of course, there was a little bit of lore that I didn't mention at the start of the set, but Mai and OLCE do have a little bit of history, allegedly. They've been meeting in some double elimination brackets as of recent, and it's usually have been OLC who's come out. Oh, what's that gold burst attempt there? Maybe I missed him, but nobody knows. But generally, it's been OLC who's had the last say in the end. Oh, there we go, the L count counter hit once again, guaranteeing a combo. Both players missing a throw there, but since Mai was the first one to start the whiff, will be at a frame advantage in that situation. Jump K barely whiffs since OLC was not ready to leave the corner. There we go, boxing. Exactly what this character is so good at, boxing the opponent in the corner, not necessarily threatening with an immediate mix-up, but that's not the essence of the character. The essence of the character, Sinkisk, is the pressure. Keep them in there, don't let them out. Eventually they will have to try to escape, and that's when you strike. Tray there. Ooh, there's the whiff punish. I think that was one of the first clean ones. OLC once again holding the low block, which is the winning play against that 2 heavy FRC 2 heavy, which is generally looking for the opponent trying to do a fuzzy of some sort. FD once again used to its full extent. OLC trying to push Matcha Mai away, but the thing is, it is very strong to FD against Sin's normals. That gets you punish opportunities. Especially if Sin is trying to Gatling into heavy buttons, but if those buttons are followed up with a special cancel, then the FD generally at the end of the strings is not gonna do a whole lot. Oh, I still gets a DP there. I think that was a punish on the landing frames potentially. The FD is very good against that 3K though. There we go. Punish on the way down. This time getting much more than previously. Was waiting for another one. However, this time Matcha Mai playing the RPS perfectly. Ooh, was in the range to get the 2 heavy Gatling. However, a little far. Oh, look at this meter. Not daring to go for a 6P there. Might have thought, oh, no matter, we're taking this close slash anti-air instead. That could be very close to a kill. Tyrant. One more touch. OLC does have the juice though. What are we going for? Backdash after the initial touch. And now Dolphin, RC, we got the pressure, but Matcha Mai also with the... What? Also initially with a very good FD pushing OLC away, but the Dolphin chasing across the screen. The dash cancel once again catching Matcha Mai slightly off guard, plus frames out of here. There we go, good cancel into 2 heavy. Generally the best conversion to go for with Sin is straight into 2 heavy. That gets you the BMB loop. But of course, on blocking opponents, gonna be slightly weaker than the other things that you could do. There we go, finding an instant. That was just a straight instant air dash out of there. Mai again. I think that's the 3rd time Mai has missed that combo. So generally, the combo route goes. Oh, but hello. Do we have the punish? Elk? No, just not willing to take the risk. I think it requires a little bit of knowledge that you can in fact go under there. It really depends on spacing. Ooh, that was a misconfirm. However, OLC not ready to hit the trigger. And then slides in there with the 3K. 5-5. You know it. Neither player getting a decisive advantage after that initial start of the set. Wait, I think I did math wrong earlier when I said on 4-4, any player needs 2. Of course, at that point, any player needed 3. So now we're in the situation where either player needs 2. Ha, QK and math. You know how it is. Alright, very good read there, right from the round start, catching the backdash. If the opponent tries to just, be too passive and backdash out of there, Elk, Beak, very good tools for chasing the opponent. 6P finds its mark. Plus frames galore. But now Matcha Mai spending a lot of resources in this situation. Could potentially spend even one more wild assault if she wants to go for it. Gets the knockdown, that's big. That allows the stamina to recover even more. And just in the nick of time to build the 50 meter. Look at that Sin pressure, baby! It flows so well. It was very expensive kind of a pressure situation, but I mean, this is Guilty Gear Strive. You will happily pay all of your burst resources in order to checkmate them, in order to prevent them from playing. Nice catch there, into the biggest BMB conversion, and Tyrant at the end. Mai, I think this is like one of the best combo execution sets that I've seen from Mai. She must be feeling very confident today. Once again, the FRC2 heavy, no reaction from OLC, so that kind of goes to say that OLC probably is not even attempting to counterplay the pseudo high-low, the L coup after the heavy buttons. But of course, Mai being a student of the high-level Sin gameplay, does have that tool in her muscle memory and is gonna use it as well. Even if your opponent respects it, it will still build quite a bit of risk. Oh, ready for the punish. Or ready for the bait, rather. Not the biggest punish. Was kind of great. Sees that the FD pushes too far away immediately after your heavy button was about to whiff. Unleashes the wild assault. We are still back in there. Spend the 50. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. Mai is weak on defense. I mean, technically, she has the she has the 4-framer, which is kind of annoying to deal for in case. Oh, wrong direction. Oh, although, I think this is actually even better when you get a big counter hit on the landing. To the other side. This time, nice check there. I think this is like the fourth or fifth time that OLC tries to run the dash cancel, but this time Matcha Mai ready to interrupt it with a 2P. Chasing with a 6 heavy to the other side, very tricky. Ooh, still got the punish, the 2 heavy, big starter for May, but very dangerous to whip. Finds the frame trap. And perfectly had the 50-meter ready to go as well. Now, let's see, OLC, what is your move here? Deflect Shield is available, almost ready to blue burst, but OLC would love to keep this burst to the last round. Never mind, we are burning it. It's now or never. Everything all in. We try to finish it here. Mai with the instant air dash jump heavy. Ooh, OLC is just a little too respectful there. Gets thrown for their troubles, and once again, look at this. Mai starting the set, or starting the round with almost full burst gauge, where OLC's gamble there at the previous round not paying off. Yeah, no way out of this. Chases with a jump gauge, still plus frames, I believe, when coming down. Once again, OLC staying down back, very respectful, but the problem is if you are too respectful, that might be a disadvantage to you in Guilty Gear games. Matcha Mai can smell the game. Smell the game? Smell of the game? Yeah, smells the victory. Blood in the water and all that. Tried to go for an air throw, gotta jump deep for her troubles, but still in the chase. One more hit potentially. Big counter hit. No stamina. We have to box. Matcha still has the life. Oh, that's gonna be it, right? We have the stamina. That's gonna be the kill. Matcha Mai taking out OLC. One of the first win for her in a long time, and what an opponent to take out as well. Just straight back-to-back, side-to-side action all the way through. OLC had a very strong start. Matcha Mai not giving a damn, just coming back after getting her fingers warmed up. Kept her cool, and again, I wanna emphasize that execution is, I think, slightly whatchamacallit. I'm actually not used to seeing Matcha Mai with such precise combo execution, just so mechanically perfect. I think that's something that has been missing for her a lot of the times, you know. In the heat of the moment, dropping the most decisive combos, having the right decisions, having the perfect decisions at neutral, but when it comes to, you know, cashing out, sometimes dropping the ball at those extremely, you know, the moments that matter. But this time, there were almost none of that. I think this is the current full potential of Mai. All right, moving on. Damn, that was quite the hustle and tussle. No, no bias whatsoever from your from your sin-maining host here. Oh god, my voice is definitely gonna be gone after these two first games. Some of my favorite Norwegian players coming through back-to-back, and already we are going into a Strelitzia set. Oh my goodness. So it's been a while since we've seen your boy has been revving it up as of recent. And Strelitzia, of course, you know, one of the top card dealers of the community. Let's see, we have your boy in the lobby. Now just need the wizard man himself. Yep, we got a lot of Norwegian goats today. Starting with Mai, moving to Strelitzia, and then later, we've in fact got two Norwegian players against each other. It's gonna be looming at the end, Bliskke and Maria, facing off at the quotations main event of the evening slot. Although, you know, if you ask me, this could just as well be worthy of the main event of the evening title. Generally, towards the end, it will be those higher level sets. Although this time around, I think we scheduled this earlier into the set because of scheduling issues. So looks like Strelitzia has some difficulties with audio, but is on his way. Giovanna versus Asuka. Well, it is definitely a matchup I haven't seen before. A lot is gonna come down to, you know, does your character have a good button to intercept cubes? Usually the standard cubes, so we're talking about the yellow, the blue, and sometimes the green. The green standard cube is a little difficult to deal with from far ranges, since it's basically 3 cubes that spread around. It's kind of like a shotgun. So the further the green cube travels, it's gonna be harder to, for example, 6B. But then also, what is your character gonna cancel those into? So if you 6B, if you 5B, if you 2B, if you poke into those cubes, do you have a good cancel that can just sort of drill through subsequent cubes? Starting with a DP, every time the opponent is in the air, Gio has that option. Working with one more, ooh, was able to draw the utility spell here. Strelitzia has to be careful. Basically a bricked hand at this point. Strelitzia would love to get to that 50 tension and knock the opponent down so we can shop for more cards. With that, what is it called? It's like Chaotic Teacher or something. We call it Mulligan here, right? Overlay names. Thank you. That's gotta be fixed. There we go. Right, able to stabilize the situation. Super coming down between the volleys of the arpeggio. That is actually probably a good tool here. I think many characters just can't do much between those 2 volleys. Of course, if you manage to land a hit on the wizard, the cubes will stop coming, but the volleys are massive and they're spread around. I wonder if like 6B into a spiral arrow can. Oh, sees the burst coming. RC to bait it. Not the most free bait for sure. Cost your boy the 50 meter, but we go into positive bonus because of that, and then pop the mana shield. Is not exactly much that Strelitzia can do in that situation. Oop, your boy gets the score right. There we go. So 1-0. I think Giovanna is probably one of those characters who, if she gets in there, she stays in there for pretty much for all eternity, unless you have like universal resource or special resources to burn, like burst, deflect shield, YRC. You probably have to have something of the sort. But now mixing it up. Particle Spear, oh no, we had too much of a juggle. This could be bad. Strelitzia very low on mana, does have that mana recovery bonus active still, which does work as a little bit of a buffer. Oh, look at that. Arpeggio actually caught your boy being sort of behind the gate, but extending themselves into it. Nice, 5B anti-air, immediate burst from your boy. 1 attack spell in hand. Got the gold burst. Ooh, that was actually a pretty decent staff to get there. When you have the, the acceleration staff, then the rainbow cube can actually be pushed towards the opponent with a lot of momentum, which kind of makes it akin to some of the, like, basic cubes. So makes it way more offensive rather than just block string tool. YRC. Oh, tried to cast a low spell in their hand, a bit shift. But I think bit shift is... It's relatively fast startup, but... Speaking of faster startups, they should catch your boy. Yes, indeed. Come back to the ground. Your boy still has a burst. Tried to bait it. But your boy... even though Urboy didn't get to use the burst here, was really on point with that RPS. If you burst in there, Strelitzia gets that burst for free and then you're done. So reading the burst bait and trying to delay it, perhaps, I think the idea for Urboy was, I have no health left, so there's no point trying to burst anymore. So let's pray that I get into Strelitzia's guard and then spend the burst in the form of Wild Assault and try to just prevent him from playing, right? Right, look for the buffs. Yep. We got Exodia. Bit shift. Very hard to try to air dash over. Gets the mix up with the teleport and scrape them off the wall. Yeah. Textbook Asuka play. Now 2 Screamers in hand. I'm actually surprised that Strelitzia didn't choose to go for them. Good 6p. The instant air dash out of the corner, but the combo, that was a very crucial combo mistake. That's gonna whip, and now that will allow Strelitzia to cycle the deck, recover more mana. Got the mana recovery buff, which is super important here. Look how much mana Strelitzia is getting without basically doing anything. Looking like a good hand. We have another auto import, and your boy has to go for the burst. There was no choice, but now we'll have to. Oh, that's actually gonna hit. Gonna ring through. But Strelitzia still has half his mana left. Drill into the guard. Good FD, trying to push. What? How? What? Where did that 6p go? Strelitzia actually ended up 6ping towards the right during that. During that cross-up situation from your boy. That was quite something there. Alright, got the hit. This is actually a pretty good burst, preventing Strelitzia from cycling their hand. Now Strelitzia only has to rely on the normals, so mainly the 2D is the tool of choice that can sort of produce your that tool. Yeah, that button. It is basically your only button that can create projectiles when you either don't have mana or don't have cards in your hand. So considering that was actually a pretty great hold there from Strelitzia, able to take the round without basically any spells to cast whatsoever. Go into the frame trap, big combo. It's not over either. Got the mana buff activated. Does have to teleport as well in case we want to end it with a mix-up. Don't even need it. Particle Sphere gonna definitely deliver enough punishment. Strelitzia warming up, drawing like a champion. It's the heart of the cards, definitely one of the features that will determine your success as an Asuka player. Sometimes you have bad draws, but sometimes you have draws like this that Strelitzia just had. Just unload your hand, go into test case 3 during the block stun, cast the spell that basically fills your hand back, get full hand of test case 3 cards, and then it's you're kind of in your win condition almost at that point if you get, you know, 4 good cards there. You of course start every round with suboptimal cards from test case 1, but as soon as you go into that test case 3, every card you draw might be that key piece that you need to basically nullify the opponent's options. And speaking of nullified options, there's really nothing that your boy could have done here. Had no burst, no meter, a character without any meterless reversals. That was just a checkmate. We go, plus frames, +2, or +3 is it? Plus even more from the empowered Shabby Spiral Arrow. Ooh, that's a good trade for your boy. We're gonna juggle, we're gonna take them. Look at this damage. This is without mana shield. Bam! And one more, anything is gonna kill Strelitzia here. Yeah, that's... I think even if Strelitzia blocks that, that's just almost a checkmate. Because that's gonna deal so much chip damage as well with the Shabby empowered Spiral Arrow. Working with a pretty decent hand, go into stack. Ooh, wait. I think Strelitzia actually cast the hand refill before going into test case 3. Or then he just got immediate, like, immensely unlucky. Not unlucky with these spells here, though. Alright, we got the auto import. Yeah, I think this is over. There's nothing you can do here. Strelitzia found such a nice hand, got all the buffs active, found the hit. Yeah, at that point you're like, welp, welp. I think how you decide to spend your burst resources in this set or in this matchup is super important. You don't burst for damage. Just like in Nago matchup, you don't burst for damage. You try to get Nago into a bad blood situation and then use your, you know, get out of jail for free cards when they are at their worst, when they are perhaps very low on mana or have a shitty hand like this. Strelitzia at the moment, the only attack card is Arpeggio, which you can't cast unless the opponent is preoccupied, usually knocked down. But on the other hand, when they are knocked down, the Arpeggio leads into so much deck shuffling, mix-ups, and what have you. Goodbye. Salute. Alright, we got the buffs as well. So this Rainbow Cube is relatively easy to poke into for many characters. I wonder how the case is with Giovanna, though. Go to Arpeggios. Oh, we're gonna get mixed up. Baits the burst as well. No burst to be unleashed by your boy yet. Strelitzia goes for his own, but now, if Strelitzia gets any sort of hit here, your boy is definitely gonna burst immediately. Oh, I think he was waiting for it. He was like doing a stagger string that could potentially bait. Your boy kinda has to go for it. Oh no. Not only did Strelitzia predict it, but there was a Rainbow Cube floating below your boy. And I think it's tough. I think like in vacuum, unleashing your burst immediately in the right corner after Strelitzia got the momentum back would have probably been like what you want the option like optimally happen. But Strelitzia was baiting during that string. Did like 2p into nothing, into waiting. If you bursted there, you would have died all the same. So it is hard. It is super hard. But now it's gonna be hard for Strelitzia. The super, providing plus frames, goes straight into the throw. No, sir! This will be your bane, even with the mana shield, doesn't matter. Spin it! Alright. This is definitely time for your boy to come online, if they are going to. Right, double staff. This is not the greatest hand for sure. Two completely useless spells. Well, I mean, not useless, but very suboptimal. Whoa, Strelitzia is straight up just drawing base, nothing but utility. Finally get some attack spells. That was sort of a moment of weakness there. If your boy managed to get a strike in, that could have been a checkmate potentially. To the other side, standing up to block the 5D, but then the 6k, which is a low. Asuka, even without the spells, does have, you know, decent amount of high-low options from his, like, basic kits. You have the 6k, which is surprisingly not an overhead, but a low. And then you have the 6 heavy, which is actually an overhead. Alright, this is where it starts. Ooh, that's lots of plus frames. And still a lot of risk there. Still half risk bar if your boy manages to get some sort of hit in. But Strelitzia has the momentum. Open up the gates again. Scores to the other side. Still has bit shift. Hello. Language QK. Hold this. Plus frames. We have the guard crush. Crush it. Looking for better spells. Yes, we got it. Rainbow Cube as well. Yep. Good night. That was a pretty decent draw there. Even if your boy, or sorry, not your boy, Spades, your boy, even if they were to unleash YRC, it would have been way too far at that point. Because remember, Asuka pressures you from pretty far away unless they commit to a mix-up. So unless they run in with, you know, Arpeggio or something and go for that 6 case, 6 heavy mix-up, or try to teleport behind you for a cross-up, there really ain't a good point to use YRC. Or Burst for that matter. Ooh, frame trap with the guard crush, and now we're opening it up straight into left-right mix-up. Drops it. This might be a chance. This is a chance, but Strelitzia going for a YRC of their own immediately. Yeah, lights out. Potentially last round of the set. It is Asuka matchup. It is a matchup that you... It's a matchup that you can't just know... can't know intuitively. This is a matchup that you have to practice for a lot. And when you're playing a standard rushdown character just like Giovanna, you might not have the great options that characters such as like Nagoriyuki or Sin Kisk have to fight against Asuka. However, this is gonna kill, right? No, not quite. Even through the mana shield is broken. But chip damage, potential, yeah, tries to backdash, tried to, like, had to do something there. And you can't just reversal super either, because it's not a reversal super. It's one of the fastest, if not the fastest super in the game, but you do need frames. I think it's, the magic number is it 2 or 3 frames that you need to get the particle sphere out. Guard crush to the other side. Uh-oh, 2 teleports. Utility hand. Warning, warning. Ah! Crossed up. Your boy didn't get the anti-air out from the right side still. Only utility in hand. Strelitzia, struggle mode. 2D, teleport to the others and gets a mix-up with that. And that's it, Strelitzia. It's, I think, the most amazing rounds here were definitely not the ones where Strelitzia just got a good hand and just did the Asuka things. The 2 most amazing rounds, I feel like, were the rounds where Strelitzia basically had a complete garbage hand of only utility. You know, that one round where Strelitzia had no cards whatsoever, just kept your boy out with the 2D and then normals. And then this round where you basically had staffs and 2 teleports to your name. And you kind of, you're just committed. You have to get the hit. You probably have to first land a normal on block, then teleport, hope that they, you know, don't react and try to take the round like that. And Strelitzia not panicking in those tough moments, but playing it cool and playing to win, as per usual, ladies and gentlemen. Tough motherfuckers, let me tell you that much. Right, next up, what do we got? Oh yeah, moment of truth. Can we run Horizon versus LagBoy? The players are in the room, so that leads me to believe that we have probably we have managed to crack the connection issues that we had earlier. It's not like internet issues, it's just straight up, you know, Strive doesn't work kind of issues as far as I've understood. It's like the players just couldn't connect to each other on the cabinets, couldn't see each other, had like, you know, desyncs and what have you, that kind of problems. But here's the hoping. Here's the hoping that we're gonna be able to run this. And is it too late to recognize that this is actually LagBoy on Johnny? This is not Urboiagain that we've used to seeing so far. I think so far LagBoy's record on Bounty Hunters is 3 games on Baiken, and now we are actually hopping into that newly buffed Johnny. Alright, let's see. So we do have some difficulties. LagBoy is saying that is wrestling with the network handshakes at the moment with the client. All right, we got LagBoy in. Let's not jinx it. I will not jinx it. I will simply start talking about the matchup, and I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to hope that the match starts properly. So Milia, fairly good character. Milia, Chip, kind of characters that are generally historically fairly strong against characters who try to keep you out, such as Axel, Testament, or this game's version of Johnny, I wanna say. Biggest problem from the viewpoint of Johnny is probably that a lot of your, or basically all of your normals are fairly whiff punishable, and we are gonna be fighting against one of the best whiff punishers in the game. From ground or the air. On the ground, of course, one of the fastest movement speeds. Also, some of the best normals, like Far Slash. Milia has a 9-frame Far Slash, the fastest type, with very decent reach as well. But also from air, because like you have not only 1 but 2 air dashes to move around with, and she has one of the best air normals as well that jump heavy, that is extremely hard to challenge and reaches very far, be it from the front or the back, so it kind of doesn't necessarily matter where in the air you are on Milia. If they whiff something, you probably get there. Speaking of getting there, going under and going under again with the use of Mirage. TK Bad Moon, we call that a good moon in the industry. When it hits, sets up the disc. Oh, it was a setup! The disc didn't actually work as a mix-up tool, but if you get to push your opponent into it, it does offer you a nice combo tool. 2K misses the conversion there, but still in a firm grasp. Is this a chance for LagBoy? Reset into a throw, deal, and guard crush. Good on Horizon standing up to block it, however, flowing into the throw again. And even though Johnny is not necessarily a grappler character, he has some of the best rewards out of grabs, being able to deal basically into his victory condition. Remember, like, you wanna first deal on the opponent, then use one of those mist fighters to be able to trigger the turn up massive hitbox that pops them into the sky, as well as crushes their guard, which basically enables you either big combos or guard crush pressure. And if you ever fought against Gold Lewis Dickinson in the past, you know how frustrating it is to fight against guard crush in this game. Right, good trade for LagBoy, being able to keep Horizon still in the corner. But look at that, couple of frames and then into 2K. Once again, it's not just the great hitboxes of Milia's buttons, but also sort of the speed you actually get there and threaten with not only mids but also lows. Towards the mid of that game, it seemed like LagBoy did manage to get into the boxing situation, into a commanding situation, but like once Horizon got out of there once, it's tough. 6P, immediate burst from LagBoy. Good trade there for the 6K, and the 6K counter hit baits the burst as well. Drops the combo, however. We still get to run pressure. This time, TK, missed fight or not. Ooh, let's see if Horizon gets out of there. Yes, indeed, and a close slash for their troubles. This could be a wall break. But even if we don't get the wall break, it's fine. Because, Horizon didn't have the resources to get the hard knockdown. Jump out, deal the punish. Ooh, the rose from Capel actually didn't register as a hit there. Horizon with decent amount of resources. And LagBoy basically nothing but deflect shield available to try to fight against it. It's hard to justify using it in a tough situation like that, where you no longer have any health left to spend. Good timing there on the burst, putting LagBoy in the corner. Now, of course, Milia not really oh, nice going under with the Mirage on that far slash. Milia not really known for her pressure necessarily, but she is a character that has access to like immediate, instant mix-up kind of options. TK Bad Moon, strike throw, with fast movement speed. You kind of have to do stuff against her. You can't just sit still. To the other side. 5K initially misses. Oh, where is she? Where is she? Dashing forward with the Mirage. Now, do we get the guard crush? Very delayed one. I think delayed it so much that Horizon felt like it was time to try to escape. Completely forfeiting the advantage that they had from the deal there in order to go for the last nail on the coffin with that frame trap. I like that. Right, here comes Horizon. No hard knockdown. And LagBoy managed to reverse the situation. Into the super. Do we get the pickup this time? No, just a little too late in the 2K here. Ooh, the backdash drift actually managing to get out of the active range of that disc. Not this time though. You're sitting still and taking this like a man. OTG tried to get the kill, not quite, but still gonna be lots of plus frames for Horizon. 2 games straight.
Melia wins.
Right, opening up super strong. It's not like LagBoy hasn't had opportunities to close out some of these rounds as well, but it's those single hits. I think Johnny is gonna be a little bit of one-shot character here. Once you do get your opportunity to run guard crush pressure, you absolutely need to find the hits. Again, using the Mirage to go under those high-profile pokes. As sort of the downside of poking with moves such as like Far Slash. Very fast, very far-reaching 9-framer. Oh, tried to do something during that. But the trajectory was only down. I think there was nothing you could do until you touched the ground. Making the 6K whip, left and right. Here we go, Horizon. I think consciously choosing to not take the wall break here. Now the next hit is gonna be good though. We have the 50 meter ready to go and ready to get the hard knockdown. We're spending it on the mix-up though. I think had to take the wall break here because the disc was set, so it would have scored the hard wall break anyway. Ooh, and that was a gold burst. So that means it's gonna be very easy to punish on whip. On block, of course, only -2, but in those situations where the opponent actually gambles and goes for the gold one, you have an opportunity to place yourself far away from them so that you can get a easy and simple whiff punish. That's kind of like the sort of decision you have to make between going for a gold burst and going for a blue burst, because like most of the time you would of course want to go for the gold one if you assume that, there we go, speaking of the gold one, if you assume the opponent is close enough to you so that they at least have to block it, right? Because it has very high yield. If you manage to hit with it, you get the positive bonus, you're gonna build at least half of that burst back. But then it's not gonna be universal, or rather it's not gonna hit the whole screen unless you go for the blue. Is this no disjoint? Had to be way farther than that. Oh, tried to go for the Artemis cross up here, but I wonder if that was too early or what. LagBoy just casually 6-speeding there on the punish. Right, into the corner we go, set up the heavy disc, make a cross up LagBoy, walking into the right direction and catching on the landing as well. Big opportunity, missed the 2 heavy, so trying to save themselves with a blue PRC again. It's that one tool, Mirage, that Horizon has been sliding on the floor under every and any of LagBoy's pokes. I mean, generally the far slashes, right? You can't really blame Johnny players for swinging that far slash though. It's like one of your best buttons. But perhaps we might have to gravitate towards a little more 2S at this point. Again, using the Mirage. We're gonna need some amount of low profiling folks here. Nice, waits for it. 15 frame dash, misses the opportunity to punish Horizon. And now, juggling it. Ooh, full combo, that was beautiful! With the full new loop on Artemis. To the other side, close slash. Yes, indeed, Johnny is one of the best characters with close slash anti-airs. And now, you're fighting for your life, Horizon. Not even face, just, again, out of there. What's gonna happen? The Joker Trick actually deletes the... What's it called? Septum voices? Is that super called? I've never seen that interaction before. That was very interesting. So Septum Voices also has only has one hit of durability, huh? In fact, was that Joker Trick just going through and then landing on block on Horizon? I blinked and I missed it. Right, blue burst, deal. However, Horizon not content holding on that corner position and holding that turn up whatsoever. Bar slash reaches, but hard to confirm. To the other side. This is Milia gameplay zooming around. Frame trap into the low. We had the RC, so that was completely safe as well. Albeit, gonna be juggled into the J. Here we go. Big damage. And an opportunity for LagBoy to potentially... Yeah, I think that's kind of what you want to take there. You want to take the Mistfinder on the backdash because you're not gonna take the turn up, right? Because the opponent can't deal far enough to catch you after that super. Dealing downwards, however, Horizon notices and goes over instead. 6B works out, frame trap into Ensenga. Our nice whip punish here. Chooses to spend 50 meter into it as well. So we're gonna get the full conversion. No hard knockdown though. LagBoy enjoying a big life advantage. But we're gonna have to catch that fly. That flies around extremely fast. And here comes the conversion for Horizon. It could flow into another J. All right. This could be a kill. Perhaps very close to it. Literally one hit point. This time it's Horizon who goes for the gold burst. But just too far away. Both players have been very, very aware of the opponent's burst options, especially those gold bursts. Right, throw into deal. What, really? Is that's real? You can just... Wow. All right, Emilia players. How do you call that out then? So I guess he would have to go for a low Mistfinder so that the opponent can't go for Mirage to get out of there. There are a couple of characters who do have tools that like low profile fast enough or just produce enough invo frames that you can just plow through the basic deal into Mistfinder Oki. I mean, Soul Bad Guy is another one of those. I think we saw last week. Oh, under again, Mirage. Oh, Mirage, my beloved. And this will go into the left corner. Set up the heavy disc. Good block on the left, right. Oh, that should be a punish. Misses it, tries to go for a 5B. But I wonder if LagBoy needed a button with a little further reach. The combo is sort of missed. Did get the 1-2, but now with the RC should be enough. Oh, got the far slash instead of close slash. LagBoy still has a small chance, has to defend though. Nice mash, but no conversion. You absolutely need those conversions in Guilty Gear Strive. YRC plus 10 with throwing out of that, and then into the guard rush pressure. That's a big counter hit. Misses the combo. Don't play with my hot LagBoy. Finish your food. I think this is safe. LagBoy should be safe, right? Yeah, they get the cancel. No! LagBoy, no! My heart! Oh, it hurts! It hurts so much! No! It was so many opportunities. No! Say it ain't so, senpai. Say it ain't so. Oh, damn. Well, it is a competitive arena after all, so we have to forgive ourselves for those mistakes and move on if we still want to make it. Right, on block, Mistfinder very minus here. Horizon working their way out of the corner. Turbo fall into the throw. Was supposed to go into some sort of extension with the out of the throw. But with the massive amount of meter that we have to spend here, Horizon juggling the opponent back and forth. Now LagBoy, lots of meter to spend. What are we going for? Misses the air throw. 2K into missing the air throw again. That's one of your favorite things that you would like to see from the opponent if you're Milia. Opponent misses their air throw, especially if you're landed. Just run under then and go for a close slash. Both of these characters have those S-tier close slashes that can reach abnormally high into the air. I think Milia is an interesting character archetype to have that feature. It's usually like brawlers such as like Johnny, Leo, Nago, characters like that. But then we have the lone soft pixie Milia, who has an absolutely, you know, mega strong close slash. Ooh, speaking of that close slash, counter hit. That's all she wrote. We are at 6-1 position here. LagBoy will have to pull through with a miracle. I mean, we've already had some miraculous rounds back and forth, but maybe not in the best sense of the word. I think the miracles haven't been going in LagBoy's direction, unfortunately, this set. I had to take that wall break. Was a little short of that 50 tension. To the other side, get a little kiss there on that cap. And now, yeah, turbo fall into a throw once again. God, that's so tricky. Milia has become so damn tricky after getting that new move, Artemis. Got the shimmy there. And still, I think still had the time to go airborne and come down with a jump heavy. I missed if that was an actual true punish there. Alright, 6K. Definitely still working as an anti-air. Again, reversal. Mirage going low profile, going under. Oh my gosh. And CC coming down every single read. Everything working in Horizon's favor. Here they come, left, right, get out of there. Backdash BRC, but is it gonna be enough? Is it gonna be enough? Doesn't look like that. Last mix-up potentially. Fight, LagBoy, fight, and strike true. Is that 6P? No, that's a miss on the throw. Punish? No, the 2P. From that spacing, I wonder if there even was a punish. I wonder if Johnny's 2K gets that far. What's hair current block? I forgot. It's well, if you would have to dash forward, I think Johnny is either way gonna be too slow. Because I mean 15 frame dash. Well, that was quite the rumble there, but super happy that the guys got the run there set still, despite all of those difficulties that we had coming this far. And moving forward, what do we got? Oh, I see that man entering the lobby. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about, chat room. It's that guy, Radune Leo. Oh boy. Again, Radune working as the gatekeeper to test the mettle of the newcomers on Bounty Hunters. Answering the call, Froyo, player from the UK. What do we got? Well, let me tell you what Froyo is going to need in this. Picture perfect execution, clean instincts on punishing reversals, definitely. And I guess it works definitely in Froyo's favor that there's a little bit less to worry about this patch after they removed DP RCs. So the flash kick RC no longer an option, but is an option that breaks throws, although you could perhaps argue that is not one of those characters who wants to necessarily go for the throws too much. I think she's more of a high-low gal on base level. And I think the tricky thing for is that as far as I've understood from what players have told me, of course has the safe jump setups from almost everything, but they can be a little tricky to pull off. There's a little bit of manual timing to some of your safe jump setups, and I've sort of sensed it myself when playing characters that just have 9-frame DPs. Of course, the top tier players are baiting reversals like it was business as usual, but some of the lower level can sometimes struggle with having the perfect baiting setup on something as simple as just a reversal DP or a reversal flash kick. Alright, we got Froyo coming in a couple of minutes. If memory serves correctly, I think every single game that Radune has had as of recent has been against a newcomer player. Let me actually pull out Radune's stat sheet. So let's see. The previous match was against TheWild. TheWild's debut match. Then it was Dragon. Was that? I think that might have been Dragon's debut match or the second match. I think that was Dragon's debut match. Then there was Tim. That was not a debut match. And before that, it was Eletreskinas. I think that was Eletreskinas' debut match. Before that, Ari. I think that was Ari's debut match. Yeah, Radune is kind of gatekeeping people here. Like, imagine being like, wow, I want to play in this cool event, Bounty Hunters. I've heard it's a lot of fun. I haven't played this game too much. I'm not, too competitive yet, but I want to get my feet wet, so to speak. So let me sign up to this event that is available to all skill levels of players. And then you sign up, your first match is Radune Leo, who is the wildest animal on the planet. And then you're like, what the fuck? This is competitive Guilty Gear? But for better or worse, it's, you have to have these experiences. You have to learn the ways of the jungle before you get to go to the fighting game university, so to speak. Like, players at all skill levels are gonna swing wild at you, and you have to be able to adapt to that. It's the pace changing though. Like, sometimes players play a little slower, play a little faster, but you gotta be able to adapt to all of it. I forgot if Radune has actually played against, players during Bounty Hunters. I think... He had a match against Zat. That was last year. But I think for the most part, not too many players on Bounty Hunters at least. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how prepared Froyo is. There we go, the handshake that Radune loves to play. That's actually has it become weaker or actually stronger? So the heavy DP has lost some of lost the little bit of invo frames that it had, but now it works as a better combo tool, so to speak. Alright, through the wall. Looks like a good... Oh, never mind. Not going through the wall. We're just going to next round. That was a pretty fast round there. Still swinging with the heavy DP. So Sol at least is able to now start some pretty decent combos from the heavy DP, but I wonder what the case is for Leo. Alright, getting a good read here. Baiting the DP as well. Radune has the burst available. Let's see if they... Wait, that was baited? During the combo? I think that was like literally one of one of the most inopportune moments to burst, yet still worked out for Radune in the end. Froyo was unfortunately low on health as well, so even with that burst bait, that was a really weird looking burst bait though. I bet your ass that Froyo was a little like surprised about the burst bait as well there. Alright, trade, but in Radune's favor. Getting the frame advantage here and the corner position. Nice, sees the stroke the big tree coming and releases the parry stand strike just in the nick of time. The stroke the big tree is, of course, to a certain extent, a tool you can use against the parry RPS, or rather the guard point RPS of Leo's. But the problem is the further away you are when you release it, the more time the opponent has to react to your incoming move. And when you release the parry stance, the strike has a very, very good hitbox, and it starts very fast as well, I believe. You know, might to some extent struggle with that a little, because her dash is a little different, so she can't micro-fix her position as well as some other characters. Big counter hit there, misses the pickup though. Radune with a life disadvantage, but a superior position. This will definitely balance the situation. One more hit. Froyo is nowhere near the burst. Gets it from the... Oh, hello? Did we miss the button? Ah, I think that might have been a little bit of an exert moment there, getting the whatchamacallit, the wires crossed in Radune's head, or just a simple misinput there. Only needed like any strike to get the kill off the wall. No matter though, Radune is not one of those players who will fret it after it has happened. Well, that's a lot of respect there. Was just walking towards Froyo during that back turn for at least like 30 or 40 frames. Super, yes, that doesn't look like it's gonna be a safe jump setup. So that means we're moving on to the next round. Radune taking no prisoners as per usual. No mercy. You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today the way of the jungle. Adapt or perish. Ooh, from the front, so that's gonna be punishable. Usually what you wanna do with that Berserker Slash is if you pass to the other side, it's gonna be plus. But if it stays on the front side, it is punishable with jabs or K buttons most of the time. Right, reversal. Ooh, that's gonna get caught. But I do no fear, throwing on Wake Up. And now checkmate situation, very close to that 50 meter. Breaking with the turbulence is gonna be enough this time. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Froyo was looking for the whiff punish, but Radune, after that whiff S button, was holding it to go into the parry stance. Leo is kind of tricky like that. Big counter hit, breaking immediately. Oh, had actually the probably was not expecting the wall to break that fast. All right, Froyo's time to make stuff happen. Nice. Cancels the sequence into the super. Hard knockdown, exactly what we're gonna need for a character like Ino, who is all about that blender. But again, Radune checking with the reversal weapon X. That ain't looking like a safe jump, Missy. Try again next time. Yeah, it is super important that Froyo is gonna be able to get those safe jumps on point, because Radune will test you as long as you show that there is value to be had from those reversals. He is gonna do it. As would any smart player, don't believe in their lies until they... Oh, hello, okay. Not the biggest cash out there, but decent consolation prize for actually whipping the full throw. Reversal DP works out as, once again, get in there, punch them into the gut, and that, I think, should be enough with the wall break. No, never mind. Like I said, we'll never kill Radune, though, with an extra 50. There's a lot of things that you can do. Frame trap with the parry stance, and there was RC afterwards if that doesn't find its mark as well. Skip to the other side. I wonder if the Leo shenanigans are familiar to Froyo or not. And this time, easy kill? Yes. Radune moving forward extremely fast. The life bar of Ino, is one of those like sort of slightly softer characters. Speaking of good close slashes, we were talking about close slashes that can reach extremely far, and yeah, we did manage. We did mention Leo Whitefang as well. I think Leo is that like slightly more unknown top tier close slash. It doesn't look like it, but Leo's close slash does reach slightly higher up than your standard close slash. All right, this time. There we go. Those are the things that Froyo is gonna need moving forward. Decent damage. Watch out with the meter though. Radune was probably buffering it there. Trying to intercept with turbulence. No dice. Can't block in this stance. Yeah, that's the only downside of going into the Brunhilder stance is you gain access to excellent pressure normals. And I mean, you have back turn S as well, which plays footsies pretty well. But the downside is that you can't block during that mode at all. Good punish. Yeah, recognizes that turbulence is indeed minus too much on block. To the other side. Yeah, Leo can always pass through you, even when your back is against the corner. Careful. Might happen again. Ah, misses the punish and gets frame trapped with the back turn S. Ouch. Another thing that Radune will definitely test you on if you know the frame data of the punish situations. Like the most classic one is 2D on block. Speaking of, we haven't seen a single 2D from Radune this time, so maybe trying a slightly different approach to this set. Right through the wall. This is a overwhelming life advantage for Radune. Ooh, that actually low profile is enough to go under the S Sonic Boom. However, you recover fairly fast out of that S Boom. Very, very tricky tool for characters to do much, like many characters to do much against. Ah, the DP is a little too slow. I mean, technically, it's not punishable after that dive, but Ino does end up in minus frame situations, so usually the save tool is to use like 5B or like a jab of some sort. Oh, try to throw, but there is nobody home with the 2D. There we go again. Speaking of testing, I think that time Froyo was not in position to even, play the RP as she had already committed to the next move. And now you are committed into the next screen with the hard knockdown. Here comes Radune. A lot of different options. Radune choosing to play very safely. And the S-Boom once again scoring a trade. S-Boom is one of those tools that like it's very prone to trading or just scoring a small mosquito bite on the opponent. So definitely a really good tool to perhaps try to end rounds with. And it's kind of hard to instant air dash through as well because the Sonic Booms just manifest, or like when they manifest, they need to be, they reach really high, right? Oh, this time doesn't believe in the whip punish. But I think the thing is, oh, nice. This could be a kill. We have the 50. Are we gonna use it? Yes, indeed. There we go. Good stuff. Nice. Recognizes that most 6Ps in the game are gonna be quite minus. There we go. Waiting for the DP once again. Froyo with a big punish. And misses the super input, but most important thing, we got the maximum damage here. Berserker slash through and then dash through the corpse. Reversal super. Oh, Radune was actually blocking. Patience from both players. Big counter hit. RC to make sure that the conversion is gonna work out. Nice. Don't even need to stick. Froyo is on board, and that round, or rather that game, was looking so convincing for Froyo. Finally, perfectly aligning on the RPS layer as well as the execution layer, able to pull through with all of her good combos. Those are the two qualities that we are absolutely going to need if Froyo wants to bring this back. The sense, or like the instinct for RPS, and then the mechanical execution to successfully perform your combos, but also successfully perform your safe jumps. Right, simple combo into super, bye-bye. Ooh, big frame trap here. It's a very high risk, high reward world. If you're looking at the damage that Radune scored with that, basically 40% of the opponent's life, and then the next hit is almost fight for your life kind of a situation. But if you do block that turbulence, like we said, very minus on block, and that will yield pretty decent damage for you as well. Radune closing in, whiffing the parry stance, and then lets it rip immediately. If you're not ready to whiff punish, then you have to contend with the massive hitbox of that 2D. And that's not the easiest button to challenge either. Ooh, misses the punish opportunity. Got the far slash there on Eno, which you know, generally not the button that you're looking for. You generally want the close slash, which is the universal, no proration whatsoever kind of a button. Radune with the tippy toes, walking forward with the stagger pressure. Do you dare to press a button? Do you dare to try to run away? And now Froyo can't really afford to run away forever. And Radune just committed to getting that last hit with the S-boom. Exactly like we talked about earlier. When they are on their last legs, that tool becomes extra powerful. No cross up this time. I almost thought that Radune was gonna take one more step and go to the other side. Here you go. Oh, nice reflect there. Able to get into the Brynhilder just in the nick of time to send it back. Ah, okay. The spacing is good on Stroke the Big Tree. Oh, look at the back turn S. That is the one button that can actually play footsie in Brynhilder stance. The S, the disjoint, the reach. But that is kind of like the only one, actually. Oh, plant that trees, and that's gonna be enough. Radune, Leo showing Froyo for the first time on Bounty Hunters. This is how it's gonna be. Welcome to the hustle and tussle. No mercy. God, he is brutal. I wonder, I think the patch changes, like, it's gotta be a net negative for Leo, right? Because it's only the universal changes, and depending on your perception, like losing DPRC, like, I mean, of course it's hard to sort of, like, everybody lost that, right? Plus then the red wild assault changes, but I think Leo is still fairly similar character to, you know, where he was before, you know, season 4 started. I really want to ask, like, more Leo players after this set, though, if the changes to heavy DPs are, you know, does that actually give Leo any sort of, like, new combo routes, the same way that you got new combo routes for Sol, for instance, on the heavy DPs, that is. Alright, but next one, TheWorstGuy, back from the holiday, or from the trekking adventure, straight into the heat of battle here on the Finnish home turf. Gotta fight it out against Cassapphic. Now, Worst has one game under their belt so far on Bounty Hunters, and if I recall, it was fairly strong performance. We still definitely need more data on Worst in terms of how he performs on some of these other matchups and, you know, all that. But my initial gut feeling is You know, I've been actually waiting for Worst to get to be able to set a new match for Worst, because like the first time we saw him play was so amazing. There were like actually new things that I learned about Faust from that set. So let's see, we have Cass already. So Bliskke versus Faust. What do we know about this matchup? What do I know about Faust matchups? Not too much, unless it's Faust versus Nagoriyuki. That's the one we've been talking about quite a bit on Bounty Hunters along the years. And I think still to this day they don't really agree if Faust is a good character versus Nagoriyuki or not. I guess since the advent of Wild Assault, it's more leaning towards like not. But what about the Wild Assault changes on season 4? Anyway, this is not a Nago matchup. Let's not make this about Nago. Damn. Trust Guilty Gear Strive players to always make it about Nago. I mean, they thinking about him. They want to talk about him. But yeah, so Bliskke is, I would say, a little more defensive character than many others. Problem with that is if you want to move backwards and try to invite Faust into your sort of sphere of influence, which would be the tatami mats from backwards moving momentum or jump slashes from backwards moving momentum, Faust doesn't kind of care. Faust is like, all right, you do that, I'll do my thing, and he's gonna throw items. So I think the sort of the momentum of this matchup, or the pace of this matchup, is a little counterintuitive for what Bliskke would usually want to do. You will definitely have to be the aggressor to not let, you know, Faust get free neutral skips in forms of like little guys, meteors, all sorts of other junk that could just spell really bad time for the rest of the round for you. But on the other hand, like if you know, that's basically what Faust is about. If he knows that, you know, if he knows that you're coming at him, he also has quite a lot of good tools for preventing you from getting in, especially from the sky, which tends to be the trajectory that Bliskke players love to approach from. Oh, checking connection. Hello, are we good? It's getting me a little worried here. Hopefully we all good though, because I would hate to be denied another worst matchup in a row. We tried that worst versus Hopland match, which didn't in the end didn't manifest properly. But now, let's go. Worst versus Cass. Already, Worst has used their nice reaction there. Even though you don't get too big of a conversion out of those 6Ps from half screen, it is super important that you take those little punishes so that you don't have to play like any sort of annoying RPS on the follow-up situation. I got the horn. The little horn is gonna kind of cock the combo. Careful with the bomb. Oh no! That's too heavy. Does put Cass too close to the blast radius and self-detonates. And it's the kind of stuff that we are gonna see going into this matchup. The item interactions, the item presence of mind, not just from the Faust player, but it is also your duty as somebody who is playing against Faust. You can't ignore those interactions. You have to try to make the best of it. Nice, the anti-air with the Escabari. Oh, but there we go, first time that we see the crawl and what it can do. Hammer initially preventing Cass from going in. And there we go, jump 2K, actually beating Kabari this time. Deflect shield, yeah, doing some work for sure. Okay, with the hammer, every time you see the hammer, that's kind of like a stop sign that you can't come in for the next, what, 50 or 60 frames. Because it's gonna come down from the sky again and work as a combo breaker if you try to strike at Faust. So if you can't lock Faust into an animation, then no way, host. You're not gonna get through. In fact, you're gonna get comboed out of that hammer, even if you did land the hit most of the time. Right, Worst opens it up 1-0. Tried to crawl under there, but I think Worst gave up on the crawl a little too early, right? I think the full duration of Escobar should be crouchable or crawlable. There we go. Perfect jump, heavy from the perfect angle. Right, trades here are gonna be in favor of Worst, I think, for now. As long as we have the life advantage, but that life advantage is looking like it's gonna be fading away pretty fast here. This will reach the wall, but not break it. To the other side, jump slash. But okay. In the follow-up situation, we still had one more opportunity, but the problem for Bliskke tends to be that from like mid-screen, like far range, where you're connecting with your S buttons like bar slash, 2S, unless you counter hit, you don't really have like good conversions without spending meter. That is like sort of the eternal Bliskke curse, which was you know, a problem in at the end of the previous round, but that's all behind now. Throwing a meteor, using it as a little bit of combo extension. I think you would much rather use the meteors in starting new combos if possible, but they do deal quite an okay amount of damage as well as combo extensions. Now careful, it's gonna pop! Speaking of the combo breakers, Cass tried to press a button there on the command grab. If only we had a DP that could now break that command grab, that snip, snip, snip. But since Bliske's, you know, reversal option is a parry that does not interact favorably with the throw options here. Two items could come out. Yeah, one of them was little guy. Combo breaker. One of the most annoying features of our good little, or our good old doctor. Oh, extended themselves into the blast radius still, so they got blown back a little. Jump D, hold still. And Worst, crapping another one. But definitely the explosive power of Bliskke can take care of Faust pretty fast if you do get in there. The problem is, of course, getting in there against Faust. Faust has, you know, not necessarily the best normal buttons, but very annoying buttons to approach for sure. It's like one of the most defensive-oriented mid-range buttons in the game. Nice with the full combo. So especially characters like, you know, more pressure-oriented, more rushdown-oriented characters, or if you're a character that doesn't usually play like that but has to play like that against Faust, those are probably not gonna be like the best matchups that, or rather, Faust is not gonna be the best matchup that you would like to be playing. Banana peel, has to respect it. Combo into the blue wild assault. Alright. Kaz with 50 meter coming out of this wall break, uses it immediately, catches, and okay. Getting the Kabara hit as a reset. Even better. Is Kaz gonna burst? Yes indeed. Keep the corner position. YRC was a good idea, but the spacing was a little wrong there. From the plus 10 frames that you get from YRC, you can definitely use that as a tick throw advantage, but gotta make sure that you are close enough, or dashing forward enough to get in there into that relevant throw range. Nevertheless, whiffing the throw, no matter. Worst still locked in. Locked and loaded, looks like. Kabari heavy version is definitely a tool that you can kind of try to contend with Faust, looks like. But then again, Faust does have another tool that just reaches even further than that, which is the fishing pole. The artist formerly known as whatever that is called in Guilty Gear Strive. Get the throw, and that should be enough. Yeah. This definitely has the momentum going here. Ooh, 5K even before the Yozan backwards hitting hitbox comes out. It's a very rare kind of a situation. 6 heavy, not hitting high enough. Drilling out of the corner. Nice punish on the poke. Both players still kind of wanting to score the decisive hit. That's a pretty good hit. And after that, Cass doesn't have a whole lot of life to spend, but kind of had to go for that burst, even though that combo wouldn't have extended too far. I think Cass just couldn't afford to lose any more health, because then on the next interaction we would have probably be kind of locked out of the burst. Like you don't necessarily want to burst with 0 health left to spend. At that point, you would much rather use the full burst into wild assaults and keep up the pressure going. Well, it was a nice idea, but the latter active frames of the teleport still catching Cass. Alright, 50% life dealt. Now we need the second part of that life bar. Finding a big counter hit, and from those S buttons, able to definitely convert into big things as long as you do score the counter hits. In those kind of cases, you are able to go into 2 heavy and then into the rest of your big combo. It's a hammer. Oh, extending herself into it. Gotta be careful. Plus 10. Deflect shield. Wait, huh? Why did the deflect shield work? Wait a minute. Oh, is it because it was corner situation? Because like deflect shield is hard coded so that it never pushes you back, it only pushes your opponent back. So because Cass was in the corner, that deflect shield just didn't end up doing anything. Is that the lore here? Right through the wall once again. Ooh, from above. Oh, that was a great use of that super. One of the few tools in the game that can actually hard call out anti-airs. That was really interesting, like graphic-wise. That it looked like Faust was actually slapping her with that 6P through the animation. But with that slightly retracted hitbox, able to score the big hit. At least most of those tools are like not plus on block, so like I guess Geo is one of the hard exceptions, but mostly like if you have a tool that kind of hard call outs the opponent's grounded anti-airs like that, at least it's not gonna lead into plus frames if you landed a block. I was worried for a moment that the hammer might actually come and interrupt the sequence during the super. I think you're not locked into the animation with that one, right? Nice ping pong. Ooh, both players! I hit the explosion from the Afro! Oh, Black Spike. Would she be able to 6P here? I think not. Yeah, that's too far into the animation already. I'm trying to bait that grounded anti-air. There we go! One more of those! Ah, but instant air dash in herself. I mean, sometimes you have to against Faust, because like, against this tool, the fishing pole, the big RPS cash out is basically going instant air dash into jump slash and a counter hit, right? Because it is basically a fireball function. And a lot of his tools are kind of like that. 2 heavy is the same. It's kind of like a grounded fireball function that you can go over and get big punish as a get big punish if you have the jump read. But then, if Faust is not doing anything during those moments, unblockable question mark, and now this is looking tough. Explosion of the Afro. Worst has a lot of resources to spend here. Gets the 50 meter from the hit of the teleport. Regardless of if that was hit or a block, would have been able to build enough to just skip into Cass's guard. Worst looking very good here. As strong as we definitely remember him. Gonna be plus enough from that very high hitting Yozan. Of course, the frame advantage is gonna depend on what kind of angle, how close to the ground you are landing the hit with. RC, force the pressure, get the throw, here we go. This is the win condition. With the 5P into another throw, and now we got a big conversion because the S-Kabare is attached. One of the newer patch changes. Not the newest patch changes, but the patch before that, where if the Kabare is attached and you get a throw, you actually get a massive combo. Nice, the double jump, able to avoid the little guy. However, more guys coming. All the boys and girls. The cheerleader squad. A close slash into a thick throw. Here we go. Guess this mix up into an empty low. And worst. Good decision here, even though he had a chance to burst. Deems that it's way better of an idea to save it for the next round. Go the Afro. Alright, nice. Gets the skip over hit. Picking up the Afro is sort of like an RPS loss for you as the non-Faust player, because you are of course extending your standing hurt box and making anti-airing ever so more difficult. Wall gives out a little too early, but Worst looking good, crawling under that super. Nice dashes in there after that whiffed. Plus frames from the S-Kabare. No. Not your time to press. Try to hard bait the burst here, but Worst not ready to commit to it just yet. And the 6P, yeah. That was a decently big commit for Worst to save that burst. If he bursts there, that would have been kind of like the safe play, but that would have meant that you are not going to have the burst for the last decisive round. And already getting some value out of it. Crawling under the TK Yozan. Okay, Mr. RPS. Speaking of RPS though, Cass swinging to the other side. And now Worst has very little life to spend. Any trade is gonna be definitely not in his favor. But this is where it could start. No meter to spend for Cass. Afro on fire. And bomb from... Wait, no, it was actually Worst who exploded. Oh no! I thought, for a second, I thought. Went a little too close to that explosion. It's sometimes hard to sort of remember or imagine, especially with, you know, us fighting game players and our object impermanence or permanence. As soon as the bomb goes off screen, when the opponent is too high, 30 frames afterwards, what do you think is gonna happen? Are we gonna forget about the bomb, or are we not? Alright, baiting the red. Here we go. Attach. Yeah, alright, don't even need to attach, just a straight kill from that throw. 2B, an ever so beloved round start button for Faust, almost like a 2S minus. Yeah, there we go, working with that extended hurt box from the Afro. And a whiff punish with the teleport. I don't even exactly know what the go-to counter plays are against Faust's teleport in this game. It used to be jump back FD in exert times. Goes to show how little I've played against Faust. I think a lot of other players can relate to that. Oh my goodness, the mix-up with the with the Final Fantasy thingies, meteors. Those are the ones. All right. Should lead into the wall break, but no heart knockdown to be had on Season 4. This could be kind of tough because Worst has that 50 meters left to spend. Goes from above. Spends a lot on that pressure. 5k prevents Cass from going airborne and throws the landing frames. I think Cass tried to use the deflect shield there to eliminate the landing frames, right? If I saw correctly. But Worst had already committed into the throw, making it kinda not really unescapable situation. Or is it? Do you still get landing frames from... Like, you can eliminate the landing frames that you would get from blocking in the air. So the forced minus 10 or 10, between the 10 or 20 or something. But you still get like a little bit of landing recovery, right? The normal standard landing recovery, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong though. Oh, combos? Avoiding. I think one of those items was actually a hammer there. How was Cass able to actually avoid it? Alright, Worst. It's been fast-paced. Tried to crawl under there on the round start. Good 6p once again. Cass definitely has had a keen sense for those. But now this is a set point situation for Worst. Worst has been nothing short of just solid gameplay. A couple of lost games, couple of lost rounds here and there, but for the most part, staying sharp, staying solid. And now Horn still contested. Is who's gonna pick it up? Worst got it, so Cass has to stay airborne, which means you are perhaps target to the 6p once more. Command grab, and that should finish it. Worst has taken his second match on Bounty Hunters. Nothing short of very textbook kind of gameplay from Faust. Throw good items, utilize the items, prevent the opponent from going in, force the opponent, like make the opponent want to jump at you. It's like Worst has very Street Fighter-like gameplay or game plan if I ever saw one. Use a lot of rerere, use a lot of the fishing pole, and feed, sort of incentivize the opponent to jump at you. Get good anti-airs, and if they hesitate, throw items. That's kind of all you need. Many fighting game characters are actually like can't play a game plan like that. If your character has any sort of like a tool that resembles a fireball function that prevents the opponent from just running in on the ground, you can use that. You can create very simple game plans with that. Alright, so if you are a Biken fan, you are in luck, because we're gonna have another Biken player coming next, and a new face on Bounty Hunter as well, Tanya Ruizu. So Tanya... Yeah, this would be, I think, the first time I see Tanya play. And this would also be the first time that we see Bedman with the improved patch under there. It's her, his, whatever mechanical amalgamation Bedman is, under its, you know, wings, under its belt. Utilizing the buffs of the initial patch of Season 4. So two characters that are extremely set play oriented when it comes to that. Biken, like we said earlier, a little more defensive at neutral situations. Prefers to have opponent come to you and perhaps run to your buttons to get things started. Although again, just like Faust, Bedman has some capabilities of producing sort of quotations summon value. You can fire one of your special moves and get a pre-roll on one of your errors, and then perhaps try to approach the opponent as you have that error rolling. Because how Bedman works, if there is still players who don't know how this character works, basically his gimmick, his core mechanic is that you perform a special move that starts ticking down an automatic follow-up that is emanated from your character if the timer runs out, and you absolutely want those follow-ups to land on your opponent. That's kind of like the crux of your combos and your pressure. Because Bedman in the most optimal scenario is kind of like Johnny, kind of like Gold Lewis, is a guard crush loop character, like so. But going a little close here, Tanya not believing in the setup, checking. Are you, good sir, are you doing tight setups? Break with the super. Super important. Look how much meter Tanya has though. Yeah, probably prompted HiWill to play the corner, the wall break situation a little more passively. Sees the YRC wave coming. There was no response. There was no sort of, you know, when you punch the opponent and it should hit but nobody's home. If that happens to you in Guilty Gear Strive, that can only mean they are YRCing or they are bursting, because there's like no response. Nice, heavy combatic follow or heavy combatic anti-air. What I do like about the changes is that I feel like Bedman has started to resemble slowly a little bit more, has become a little more close to his Exert variant, where like Bedman is a character who should have very strong options from the air, right, with his Magneto dash and then strong buttons that you can come down with. The problem has been that like the momentum of his jumps, the momentum of the dive downs and the buttons and their properties just haven't been like as good as the previous game, which has really like lowered the efficacy of the character. But I guess we're slowly getting there. There we go, the jump slash with the vacuuming momentum gets a very nice juggle here for Will. And then more. Yeah, the burst was probably good. That error follow-up, the bomb head would have probably sent Tanya into a subsea. Oh, this is a misconfirm. And no RC to save herself. Into a big combo. The tether is actually still attached, so there's nowhere to run. Tanya is just gonna have to take this big combo. Here comes the bomb. Smartly for Tanya, moving to a position where the bomb head wasn't so relevant anymore, but that still puts you in definitely in danger's way. Was that the first game? It's I mean, technically Bedman since the beginning of time has been quite the slow-paced character. There's a counter hit on this jump slash, so another good burst, likely saving herself from themselves from a lot of damage. That's the bomb, guard crush into jump slash jump D. Able to block both of those overheads successfully. God, those combos look so cool now with the jump slash vacuum effect from Bedman. Yeah, use that vacuum. Come in here, get in here. I want combos. And the guard crush followed up by the late jump D. Yes, sir. We got some stuff. We got some sauce. Right, surprisingly too far away to go into the animation after that Hiragi parry. There we go once again, the jump slash. It should be good. This character is meant to control the skies, comboing into the bomb head. And another one, guard crush. Staying very safe there, probably expecting that Tanya would have loved to go for a YRC or a burst. And Bedman can certainly opt to play very defensively, because like you do have some zoning capabilities. And depending on your nice reversal there, knows that there, like if you wanna cancel into too heavy, right? Especially from that mid-range position, it's gonna get punished by almost all kinds of reversals, right? Use the wild assault there as well to try and skip into the guard of Tanya's. Good anti-air. The bounce after the S-Kapari having been attached creates a little weird... what do they call? Slightly weird physics here. There we go, and this time had even the 50 meter to put on top of that TK Yozan in case it didn't score as a hit. Here we go, the jump slash again into a successful combo. Too bad Will with the follow-up error there to the other side. Oh, the flame explosion goes into the air instead. So slightly perhaps mistimed pressure string. Pulling off like not only the combos, but I think especially the perfect successful pressure strings are gonna be like some of the hardest things that Bedman has to sort of deal with. Because you're on an exact timer, and you kind of have to know how, like, depending on how much time you have on your error still, and how you like how to flow into those follow-ups perfectly, basically. Right, Tanya with a chance here, goes into a low, one more. Oh, that was supposed, oh my god, that was supposed to be TK Yozan, I think, but since HiWill ended up going into a deflect shield, missing that TK Yozan was actually favorable for Tanya, because then they're gonna land right next to HiWill, who is still in recovery period and in counter hit state. So happy little accidents, as they said once in a once in the past. Yeah, let go of the low guard here. Every single one of those hits from Too Heavy is, as far as I know, a low hitting move. Now, are we gonna have enough? Not quite. And getting a throw as well. This could be a big opportunity for a run back. Waiting for something, perhaps a reversal super, and the reversal super does come in the end. Tanya did try to drift BRC there, I believe, but was still on that recovery period. Here we go with the jump slash once again. It's, of course, whenever Bedman goes, like historically it has worked like this, whenever Bedman goes airborne, it's gonna be kind of RPS between, you know, is he gonna dive at you? Is he gonna, like, try to bait your grounded anti-air and perhaps dive straight down or backwards? Or is he gonna delay a bit? I forgot actually how, like, can you delay a lot? I think you can still delay from the floating state in this game, right? You don't have to input it immediately, if I understood correctly. So there is a little bit of RPS in terms of, like, is he gonna, is he not gonna, when is he gonna? But it all boils down to you basically picking your perfect, like, your best anti-air when you think Bedman is gonna commit to that that 8-way dash into your general vicinity. Alright, we got the throw from the front. Reattaching it, nice! Costs Tanya 50 meter to bait that. Get the gold burst. Oh, have to spend. I guess that's one way of skipping into the guard of the opponent. And then that jump slash once again. God, those jump slashes look so juicy. Really happy that Bedman finally has, you know, I'm not sure if all of Bedman's conversions are stable now. Probably not, but at least most of those, you know, air-to-air and air-to-ground jump slashes should be, like, in a pretty okay place for now. Speaking of, yeah, immediate burst from Tanya. As long as HiWill doesn't get out of this corner position, yeah, here we go, gets out of the corner position. To the other side, are you kidding me? The mix-up potential with this jump D now. Baby, yes. Like, because Bedman has so many difficulties at the neutral game, or because, like, it has kind of like the Ino problem that, like, sure, you have powerful options, but when you commit to an approach, it's very it's very all-in kind of a thing. So it's reasonable to, you know, argue that he should get very decent rewards when he actually is able to guess right. Or gamble his way in. Speaking of gambling your way in, no longer plus from that White Wild Assault, so have to use it very carefully. Cool combo, that should actually kill. Big combo from Tanya. Ooh, 6 being under that heavy kabare, okay. Still getting it attached. Getting decent value out of that deflect shield, but that is gonna put HiWill at basically 0 burst resources, meaning HiWill probably ain't gonna use any of that burst anymore in this game, or even Wild Assault. We're gonna have to see how it goes. Bedman can play extremely slow, so there is of course an option. Nice shimmy there, backdash out of there. That's gonna be a kill, right? Right? Bomb, bam! Yes, indeed, HiWill looking as good as ever. Some would even say better than previously. But of course, when the potential of your character is, you know, increased so much, of course you would have good results if you put the time and effort into that character already. And out of most European players, like there just haven't been too many Bedman players, honestly. There's like, I know the names of like maybe 3 Bedman players at most, HiWill being one of those. So you know the investment paying off. Oh, we're going into the install super. I missed if HiWill actually had the follow-up rolling here. So during this install state, you can't really challenge Bedman very safely. You can try to swing at him, but if you do, the follow-up is still gonna come out. What the install does, it makes your follow-ups uninterruptible, and it makes them guard crush as well, if they already didn't. Alright, into conversion, gets a frame trap with the heavy kabare follow-up. Big damage coming, not quite getting the wall break. HiWill at a massive life disadvantage. Looking for the big hits though, that's exactly what you want to do. You don't want to go for the small ones. You don't want to play safe, you want to play risky. There we go, and that could be, yeah, Tanya has to burst here in order to not get KO'd out. Oh my god, is HiWill actually gonna steal this? No, it doesn't connect, but this does. That was a full charge Wild Assault. Not quite enough to kill. It does have some. Oh god. HiWill, you highway bandit. Damn. Yeah, it's like HiWill was at basically 0 health, so he's at, all right, we aren't gonna be a pussy here. We're just gonna like go big or go home. 2 massive jump slash counter hits, converting both of those, and then basically equal life. Already in a situation where you know, it's like 50-50 to make it happen. The TK Yozen once again missing initially, but the S-Kabare was attached, so pulling Will and Tanya back together for a little bit of an RPS scuffle. And a safe jump. Got the backdash, but not ready to completely commit to the hit confirm. Ooh, the TK boy. Oh, hello. The S-Kabare once again delivering some interesting looking physics there. With charge, Wild Assault, missing the combo, but no worries. We have all the makings of the guard crush loop there. Nice, 5 PP. Go for your fastest interruption. Try to attach another one, kind of hoping that, or kind of predicting that Will would have blocked the previous hit, but he actually got hit there. Straight into jump D mix-up, and very decent reward as well. Still, this is gonna guarantee that the follow-up is still gonna come out, or not. Wait, he will not have the follow-up there. So the full duration of the install actually is gonna be missed. Diving down into the low, that's so hard to defend. The multi-hitting overhead. Ah, tried to go for the overhead.
Slap.
Tried to go for the high, the overhead.
Slap.
2 overhead.
3.
But Tanya having none of that. Abare with the throw, breaking Will out of that overhead, slow startup. I'm not sure if Will actually chose to charge that or not. But even without the charge, I think should have a gap there to press buttons after, or between rather. There we go, once again from that multi-hit in the jump D. I guess, I'm not 100% familiar with that mix-up, but kind of looking like you will have to guess the amount of the overhead hits from the multi-hit move first, and then sort of try to guess if Bedman will go into the delayed jump D or land into a low. Which is a very, very classic kind of fighting game mix-up. Yeah, there we go again. Has the follow-up, landing from behind the guard crush. Brave 9-frame far slash gets out of there. Tanya skips to the other side. Can choose to RC if they want to. Ooh, it's gonna be big hurdy combo. Has to take the salt knockdown though. While the salt is available. Ooh, what that ping pong shot. The blast radius emanating very high up into the sky, and I wonder if Will could have even held that floating state long enough for the blast radius to disappear, or if it was just predetermined that he's gonna take the hit. You can backdash there, I guess, to try to avoid it. RC keep the pressure going, while the salt attach it again. Into a throw, this should lead into... Ah, interesting. So maybe Tanya was feeling like the combo was gonna drop, so just goes into the 2K and then reset the situation. Is there such a situation where the Escabari is like, you have so little time left that if you would only get the 2K, which is the like initial starter after the throw, and then you kind of would miss the rest of the combo if the Escabari detaches after that? So was that what Tanya was worried about? Alright, so we have a slightly unfortunate disconnection here. But even if HiWill takes this, it's not gonna be the last one. So we should at least make it back to the finale of the match in the worst case scenario. But luckily, as how should I put it? This is gonna be the only one, right? Right? It's guaranteed that there's gonna be at least one disconnection during a full FT7 event. But since this is the one, that means no other disconnections are gonna happen afterwards, right? Because that's how it works. That's how, you know. That's how I say how it works. Because I'm the queen here. I will choose how it all goes. This is my event, so I will choose exactly how these lobbies works, how these connections work, and you know, that kind of stuff. So I got all this figured out. It's part of the script. We get one disconnection and then no more. And we get to watch this amazing Zet afterwards. Speaking of this amazing Zet, looking very even here on this point. This is a very important point, by the way. If Will gets this, he goes to 6 points. If Tanya gets this, is on right behind, right after HiWill's tail. There we go. It is actually Tanya who takes it, so it's still super realistic for them to take this home. Only one game down. So 4-6 situation, HiWill still 1 game advantage. Literally anything can still happen. This is Bliskke that we are talking about. Lots of potential for big combos, big setups. One throw is, you know, basically only one throw is required to completely reverse the momentum of the set, or rather of the round or the game even. We go get the heavy, the escapade once again, keeping them very snug and together. Punish on the landing frames. Tanya only needs one more. Probably would have needed the 50 meter on that TK Yozan. Not quite the super powerful tool that it was in the past. Too far to get the animation once again. But still getting value out of that Hiraki. Guard crush. Break off the wall. They shouldn't kill just yet. But HiWill has an opportunity to go for a mix-up here. Tried to probably bait it. Went for a 2P in order to perhaps... Oh no! The maximum range! The maximum range of YRC cannot connect from that spacing. No matter if your hitbox is shoved into the opponent or not. And I think at that time Tanya was also disjointed enough to just not have to deal. Like, even if it worked like that, wouldn't have to have to deal with it anyway. Now we are in the loop with DJ HiWill. Get the wall. Oh, nice. I swear Tanya must have played this matchup before, because they are literally jumping out of some of those some of those bombs and preventing the the guard crush loop just going on forever. 6P against Escapade. The clash. Oh, gets a hit on the down or on the way down. Deflect shield using meter to nullify the effect of that. Very nice. And now 6P once again on the landing frames, but no big conversion. Escapade is still attached though. Tried the 2P as an anti-air, but the advantage, I think the advantage is most of the time on Bliske's side. And there we have it. Tanya bringing it 5 points even. We are heading into the championship rounds with an even Stevens game here. Oh, does normal 6P not convert? Is it not even... Can't you... So you can't even get heavy kabari on grounded opponent? Is that it? That's kind of rough. Alright, a little bit of zoning here. My god, look at that range! That was jump slash versus jump slash, wasn't it? It's such a rare sight to see that Bliske's moves get challenged so quotation easily. There we go, swinging the jump slash a little too early, perhaps expecting Tanya to go airborne as well. Jumpy this time into a conversion. Say it isn't so. Please no. The situation is completely even if we're getting we get a disconnection here. Huh. Servers? We good? Alright, Tanya getting ejected from the lobby. Could be hiccups on, could be hiccups on Steam side, could be hiccups on Strive side. Who knows? I mean, it's at this point, I always suspect that it is, Arx's sided problem first and foremost. But luckily the situation was relatively even. It was a kind of a lit match or lit round there, so unfortunate that we had to lose that one, but at least, we can go back to, we can roll that back and go to the 5-5 situation, thinking that neither player really had a massive advantage going into that one. Uh-oh. Could that be related to the issues that, you know, LagBoy and what's the match against? The guys previously had. Alright, we get back into it. 5-5 situation, 2 to bring it home. HiWill had a decisive lead early into the set, but Tanya has been mounting a comeback slowly but surely. Let's see if the icing here between the rounds affects the momentum either way. Looks like Tanya is still in there, as you should, once you get in on Urboiagain and attach the S goodness. Ooh, that's definitely one way to delay to deny the follow-up from Will. Perhaps worth it. Meter per meter, still the blast radius extending so far and making Will just sort of lose the meter. Did get into the pressure situation here though. Guard crush, overhead, nice, stands up and blocks it. There we go, there's the jump slash from the other participant. There's been so many jump slash air-to-air exchanges that Will has won. But now we're getting the classic Urboiagain jump slash as well. 6-speed to the right or wrong direction, who knows, depending on your point of view. Ends up working out though. Bar slash, 9-framer, get it out there. Perfect angle. The conversion doesn't quite manage to successfully bring it home. And now Will though, break the guard. Being very patient, very safe here in case Tanya wants to play something, yeah. Gave Tanya an opportunity if they wanna waste their full burst or try to use a reversal super or YRC there. Like shield once again, growing under Bedman with that massively fast forward movement. A character that doesn't really have a dash per se. But the Bed's fast normal movement makes up for it. YRC against the jump D mix-up. Yeah, I do still want to keep this position, says Will. But going under with the too heavy, that should be a kill unless Will gets the burst off. Does so. Incoming, oh, perfect timing there with the jump slash snipe, because Will would have had the laser follow-up coming through soon. So it was super important to either get the interruption there, get the hit in on, well, either get the hit or block in there immediately, or then just get out of there so that Will doesn't get to utilize any of the error blast frames. But speaking of those blast frames, we are in the loop. Oh, stucking immediately to the wall there. Perfect boxing. It goes back to BRC with the slingshot momentum. That is extremely cool, especially when you do have the error already rolling, and even if you don't, I think, do you have to actually land the special on block? So if you do that momentum slingshot and you PRC the special, does the special still start its like error timing? I think not, right? Ooh, misconfirmed there. This is gonna be a big punish. That's minus million frames. And here comes Tanya, instant overhead, the basic conversion. Spent 50. And what's next? Deflect shield? Yeah, one of the go-to tools that HiWill has been using to negate all the high-lows, left-rights, and whatnot that Urboiagain could play. Tanya very low on life. Activate install. Tanya will have to play defensively. There is no other way. Yeah, I think that was very, very close to a checkmate. Even if Tanya chooses to burst. Wait, what is actually gonna happen there? Is the follow-up still gonna come out if you get knocked down? I'm gonna have to do more research and homework on how Bedman works. Damn. Yeah, eventually they will have to transition to the low guard, right? And it's such a hard endeavor as well, because like all of those heavy moves with multiple hits, very hard to defend against. Same with too heavy. You could have a arbitrary amount, well, not arbitrary, but random amount of lows that you have to block against, although you can't transition into like an overhead afterwards, so. First blood goes for Tanya. The player reaching the set point position first. HiWill needs 2 rounds in a row. There is no reduce after this. This is 6-6 position. Knock them against the wall. Here comes the explosion. I think it went off screen, but HiWill probably doesn't get too much. Still got the hit. I mean, depends on your point of view. Of course, you would love to keep up the guard crush loop if possible, and don't like not letting the opponent escape that one. Here we go. Got the bomb, unleashing it. Tanya, however, hanging back and not willing to come forward. With the zoning. And a good anti-air. Once again, double L. You know how it is. Tanya with the advantage here going into the very last round of this set. Immediate. Oh, interesting. No conversion from that blue wild assault, but got what is it? Tether attached still. And Tanya needing one more good hit. It could come from this. I think that's it. Stick to the wall. Get the super. Tanya able to bring it back. It was such a strong start from Will, dominating the skies for a long time, but then towards the end, somehow creeping and crawling back in there, bringing the momentum actually in their favor, and then at the very last moment, bringing it home. Tanya on their debut match on Bounty Hunters, able to put themselves on board as, you know, one of the higher end players of Bikens that we have on this event. Very good stuff. Man, I'm so happy for that jump slash or that Batman jump slash. That button does really amazing things, it looks like. All right, but now moving on to the last set of the evening, we got the double Norwegian pair ready to rock it. These are players who basically play on almost like a daily basis kind of a thing. So it was slightly reluctantly that I set up this match, because, you know, usually we want to avoid matchups that are, you know, played very often, like avoiding matches like Bliskke versus Strelitzia, stuff like that. When you are basically part of the same community, it's of course, you know, business as usual, day like any other to you. So you're kind of losing that opportunity to go against people you've never played before, or people you don't really get to play much against usually. But due to, you know, what was available for this one, was deemed necessary, and the players were okay with it as well. So we got Bliskke already ready to go. It's so funny how damn, Need is actually so great. Need was able to sort of recreate the profile picture, or the picture message that Bliskke left, recreating the scene with the digital figurine mode. It is a work of art. So we need Maria, right? Natural habitat, the white padded room. for the wackos. So, matchup-wise, I guess I have to censor myself because this is one of the heavier matchups, one of the matchup that has weighed on my personal conscience for a very long time. They do say that Sin Kisk is, you know, slightly vulnerable to, you know, archetypes like this. When you have like an archetype that is kind of akin to your own, but who does things a little more efficiently at neutral. They do say that this is one of Sin's harder matchups, but for sure not undoable, not impossible. It is simply that you have to make good decisions for sure. What I've found is, you know, just picking your spots in terms of where you burst, especially, is one of the most important things. Like if you don't have a distinct advantage against Nagoriyuki when he's high blood, but I mean, even if you don't, you kind of have to do it. You usually have to milk the blood out of Nagoriyuki first, so that you don't take, you know, absurd risks at neutral if you are a character who wants to play neutral. And you could argue Sin Kisk is one of those characters who is just all about that neutral. So the most difficult thing for Sin in this matchup is trying to reduce, or trying to rather increase, the blood of Nagoriyuki's so high that, you know, you can kind of tell that he can't do anything other than, you know, perhaps those big 5 heavy swings, and then you can actually feasibly try to attempt to whiff punish him when, you know, Clone Fukyo or Beyblade are not part of the picture. Right, Maria, very high blood here. Bliskke has kind of gotten to the situation where Beyblade's probably not coming out anytime soon. Maria is on a downwards trend on that blood pressure. There we go, and now potential chip damage situation. Couldn't really stay still. If Maria chooses to swing with basically anything other than that too heavy, you're probably gonna die to the chip damage. The overhead and the throw. Even if it's kind of, ooh, nice! I like the reaction, drifting forwards as a counterplay against the split shield, the deflect shield. But not quite able to get the fast button out in time. Maria far slash into the Beyblade. The Beyblade always a low frame trap option here. You basically land anything on block and the opponent can't hold upwards. Oh, noticed. Into. Yeah, it should be a kill. Very easy one as well. That's the other thing that you have to absolutely keep your eyes on. So, what we were talking about earlier, oh my goodness. Maria blocking actually into the right direction there. Reversal DP, still a very good option, especially now that, so, Nagoriyuki is a lot about the strike throw, so that kind of works in your favor, even though you've lost the big cash out that you could do with your DP into Kara Supers. Instead, you can now call out the bite option as well as the strike option with your DP. So there's, you know, some things were lost, some things were gained. Conversion. That could be enough. That's not quite so. Maria had very low blood pressure there, so meaning she was still rocking with the best defensive modifier available. Wait for the too heavy and a punish. I'm not sure if that was a true punish here, but nevertheless, almost always if a heavy button, or yeah, basically if any heavy button is whiffed on Nagoriyuki's side in this matchup, you at least should have time to get into Nago's guard before he gets to poke again, right? Even if you miss the perfect whiff punish. And against two heavies should be fairly whiff punishable, because that's a button that whiffs for like 60 frames or something absurd like that. Even a big driver like Elk, all of those buttons should get there in time. But the big primary suspects tend to be Nago's 5 heavy as well as 2S. 2S is a button that is almost unwhiff punishable. It's one of those buttons that just recovers so ridiculously fast that you would almost have to be at the perfect distance and already striking at them on hard read, or you would have to be already doing like a hoof stomp to go over it and actually counter poking it instead of whiff punishing it if you want to do anything about that 2S. As a successful punish, that is. You can still force Nago into a position where he whiffs 2S and then he kind of has to respect your follow-up option or risk whiffing in, like risk swinging into your next strike and then getting counter hit as a result, even though he doesn't necessarily get like hard punished. And then there's 5 heavy, which the problem is a little different, whereas if you are high blood, then you have to stay so far away from Nagoriyuki that it can be hard to time your dash so that you're actually getting your dash momentum and a successful whiff punish against it out. But both of those things, not impossible, slightly improbable, but definitely doable. But it is definitely not the only way that you can play this matchup. Especially Bliskke being a little more aggressive kind of Sin player, you can force your way in. You can try to, you know, force the situation, and then once you get in on Nago, he kind of is a character, even though Nago has quite good interruption tools against some of your go-to, you know, stagger pressures and Gatling strings. It's still Nago. Doesn't have any kind of like meterless reversals or anything like that. And on high blood like this, he takes a lot of damage from your combos as well. So you could potentially, oh, there we go. Bliskke with the 2D round start option, which is a very crucial option to have. It actually can destroy Nago round start DP as a counter hit, as well as some other sequences. I think that was a Beyblade that you destroyed there? Like a delayed Beyblade? Let's see if Bliskke blocked. Yes, indeed. So this is gonna be a full punish. Already has the 50 meter ready to go for the super. Big damage. And now Maria's only option is deflect shield. But of course, Bliskke going straight into a meaty special move. So I think if Maria goes deflect shield there on the reversal, Bliskke actually has some pretty okay options to reach Maria still, just for going for the follow-up. Because remember, a lot of like Sin's special moves just move him forward, so pulling off deflect shield against Sin at the right moment is just really, really crucial. Misses the... did his controller issues again? Hello? Are we good? Alright, we are back. And now, didn't left a long enough pause there between the Elks and then the command dash. Alright, RC, because it is -3 in this patch, so if you actually want a guaranteed pressure after that, you would have to, funny enough, RC that White Wild Assault. Although you could argue that -3, depending on the distance, is not the worst thing for Nago. Nice whip punish there on the 2K. Bliskke going straight into the reversal super. There we go, 3K. Too far to keep Nago in place. No anti-air attempts, backdash, ooh. Gotta be really careful backdashing out of Nago's pressure. Nago has a lot of far-reaching buttons such as 5 heavy or the far slash. Even the far slash tends to catch, like, if you're trying to backdash against Nago from any sort of point blank situation, the forward slash, active frames, and reach are simply just gonna catch you. 1-2-B into pressure. Maria wants out, +10. -3, backdash out, and then Beyblade in. Like I said, it's not the end of the world even if you go into that -3 situation from the Wild Assault, because remember, there are a lot of tools in this game that put you in that exact same situation. S-Dolphin for May, Up-Dog for Giovanna, the pressure ender for Kai. You know, it's very normal to end your pressure in like a spaced situation where the opponent can't quite reach you. Even Sin has like 5 heavy. Exact same kind of situation. It's spaced away, and you can't exactly punish it. Maria missing a very crucial Beyblade. No matter, we commit into it. Was basically popping, but she took a calculated risk and found the hit. If you never gamble, you're not gonna win. Now Blisske from the 2-bar stamina situation into the best pressure situation that Sin can run. Point blank +6. Especially against DP, like non-DP characters, the Elk2 into Gazelle Step into Close Slash. Still a very strong tool. Gathering back some blood. We'll be able to get to 2 bars. Ooh, look at that spacing for Blisske! The beak driver. That is kind of the spacing you want to be hanging around after you are able to milk all the blood away from Nago to Yuki. Because at that point, you know, Nago can't really adjust himself anymore. It's like you are stuck in that distance, you have the better buttons, but the ability to adjust your position is on Sin's side, right? Solely on Sin's side. So you can kind of hang around your beak driver spacing if you so desire, and often you want to as well. So nice reversal super punish here. Hard knockdown and into a big counter hit. This could be a kill. Very close. Yes, indeed, with a wall break extra damage. Sin is super good at being able to deal just like a solid chunk of damage. Sin doesn't deal like massive Nago damage or soul damage or even Slayer damage, but what Sin excels at is always dealing like around 40 or 35% of your life bar with every single conversion. So like the steady influx of damage, no matter what hit confirm he gets, is I think one of his fortes. Ah, no! That's so funny. The shimmy was actually was that the controller disconnect shimmy that we got there from Blisske, because Maria actually tried to throw there after Blisske stopped moving around. No way, don't tell me it's still the controller issues that Blisske is struggling with. Or is that some sort of other button issue? I saw the 2 players talk in chat about some pause button stuff. I don't read perfect Norwegian, but alright, all that blood coming back. We can potentially go for a samurai mix. Don't even need we going into the strike throw instead. And Maria, no mercy, take that round back. If you, good sir, stop moving, then screw you. It do be so in the thick of the jungle. It's rule of the jungle. You stop, you drink water, you have food, other predators aren't gonna get you. Nice, that was an interesting combo. Basically a B&B combo, but the way that Blisske was clipping out of that 2S was very non-standard. Here we go, into Hawkbaker finishing the combo, and basically the first, oh, there we go, a showcase of that counter hit 2D that you can get. If Nago goes reversal DP, you're gonna get a big counter hit for your 2K. And there's a couple of different options that you could convert into a big combo. You can go straight into like Beak into Gazelle Step. That's gonna give you juggle, or then you can go straight into Hoop Stomp. Ooh, working with the anti-air close slash, big damage for Bliskke. Especially since Maria's blood is so high, there is the reversal super option here, which would fix Maria's blood problems. Right, immediate burst. Don't want to let Maria recover too much of that blood, because God forbid Maria would have gone into the super. But unfortunately, it's not enough. Right, able to avoid the very common round start gambit, which is back Fukyo into Beyblade, which is kind of a maneuver that sort of kills any button that the opponent tries to press. It's like, gives you a guaranteed whiff punish on anything they might try to press. Ooh, the second hit, the overhead of the part of the DP is so delayed. Now Maria with 2 bars of blood. On the Hound, Bliskke into Hoop Stomp into nothing. Right, 1 hit, cancel into low. Had to RC that as well. If Bliskke didn't do so, it would have gotten punished if Maria was looking at the stamina gauge. Whenever you land a special on block or hit, it is basically your punish to take. Because all of Sin's step 1 special moves are ridiculously minus. Which is, I think, like one of the most common things that Sin players get away with, especially in casual play. You know, it is a very non-standard thing that you have to look for. Like, people aren't used to looking at an extra resource on top of the opponent's life bar or their tension gauge or their burst bar. You still have to look an extra resource on top of that in terms of Sin's stamina to determine whether there is a threat after blocking one of Sin's special moves, or whether you can challenge. Like, sometimes you can even just challenge, get counter hit by Sin's specials, and there's not gonna be follow-up of any kind because he just ran out of stamina. So you could be like, all right, I'm gonna mash here. If I get hit, whatever. If I don't get hit, well, then Sin is gonna get hit. But those are the times that you are usually saving your 50 meter for. When you run out of stamina, you usually spend meter to instead convert the hits that you would otherwise perhaps cover with your stamina, or you use meter to be able to build back some of that stamina to stall for long sequences. That's kind of the crux of how, you know, Sin tends to pressure you. And then you can also use, you know, Wild Assault. Gives you, at the very layer 1, Wild Assault pressure reset into like Close Slash 2S, 5 heavy 2 hits. And that already wastes like roughly, 2 seconds? And allows you to recover back both stamina as well as tension. So what is going on at the moment is that Bliskke is working on their controller. Looks like they did indeed have some controller issues, and they're trying to fix it for now so that we wouldn't have more of those critical pauses in in our pressure. I think I will forever remember the controller disconnection shimmy that Bliskke played. That looks so funny. It's like just standing there, Maria whiffs a throw, but then there's no follow through because you're actually disconnected from your inputs. Oh my goodness. Epic story for the, you know, for the future generations. Despite all of that, Bliskke does have a couple of games on Maria at the moment. 4 points to Maria's 2. It ain't Bliskke without Scuff. So true, apparently. I've had the pleasure of hearing some you know, Norwegian fighting game lore straight from the source, and definitely Bliskke seems to be one of the most colorful characters of pretty much any fighting game scene that I've been personally part of, which is of course a really good thing. You want to have those really interesting personalities in your friend groups. Speaking of what they say about Bliskke, I think a lot of the time what I hear from the Norwegian scene describe the kind of phrases you hear Bliskke described with is that he's extremely good with RPS. He just even though he gambles a lot, he often he lives and dies by his decisions. He is extremely good at guessing right. Which is, of course, an important thing. If you go gambling, you hope that you would come out, plus EV, or technically even if you're not playing plus EV gambles, you have such keen intuition for what the opponent usually wants to do based on what they've shown previously, that you're able to guess what their most common or most likely reaction is going to be. Right, finding the basic hit. /beak into Kara Super. Waiting for the waiting for the reversal super perhaps from Maria, but Maria with the delay instead chooses to release the super after an Abare button, and this is also going to fix her blood problems. Bliskke still is holding a lot of meter, and can still play another one. Yes, indeed. Just played that earlier as well. The double hoof. Are they gonna block 2 hoofs in a row? They might, or they might not. Either way, they're gonna have to guess twice or try to react twice. It is kind of hard to react to the hoof elk 50-50. From buttons other than heavy buttons. Heavy buttons usually are your pressure is gonna end here, so either there is a cancel or there is no cancel. But from buttons such as 2K or 6K, for example, there are so many different kinds of options that you have to be thinking about way more than just the special cancel. They might stagger, they might thick throw you, they might, they might do a couple, a huge amount of different things, which kind of adds to your mental stack. Maria is kind of high blood here and very close to the 50 meter as well. With the 50 meter, of course, you have all sorts of shenanigans that you could do to drain more blood from the opponent. Let's see if Maria has any opportunities to do that, though. 50 meter. Backdash, drift back. Yeah, that works. Use the burst to try to get a hit with the wild assault. Bliskke with his very trademark kind of late air dash in. Scoring another round in his name, and well, it's not gonna be Bliske's controller disconnecting this time, but it is unfortunately going to be QK. I think Maria did notice that we had a spectator drop. So let's see if the players are indeed gonna play it out or sandbag. We should find out in just a moment. Of course, they are within their rights to play the match. We try to, you know, preserve as much of the competitive integrity as possible. So if players are already committed to the match, then they shall play. We are here first and foremost for the players and their enjoyment, after all. Did I actually forget to flip this to 2-2? Yeah, I did, but the players, of course, were perceptive and came out of the lobby. All right. I think that was... Wait, was that a real match? I guess we're gonna find out in the end, if nothing else. All right. So going back into the... One thing is for certain, Blisske has at least 5 points, I think. Right into the pressure. Dirty light overhead. Blisske chooses to wake up with the Hawkbaker. Maria very close to popping here, so won't be able to take any special moves in the near future. In these kind of situations, though, White Wild Assault is a huge lifesaver. Allows you to still play the game, and a disconnection. I think Maria is probably not gonna show no mercy here. Gonna take that punish. Come on, buddy, bring your best gear. And a good 6p there against the jump in. Once again, the DP1, DP2. I see the opponent in the air, so go for the 6p as well. -2 from the 6 heavy. But again, that 6 heavy is on block, kind of like the same, very similar kind of situation as Sin's 5 heavy. Both are -2, both space you kind of far away, kind of in a round start-ish situation. So it's not a very clear-cut kind of RPS that you're playing from that. Right, the neutral jump ends up making Maria... Ooh, I wonder if that was a misinput there. So Maria losing that half burst gauge, using the second half in order to try to pounce forward and fix the position. Too heavy, get you onto the ground, and there we go with the big bite. Wow, Blisske just dashing forward, cashing out on all of that respect. I think working really well in tandem with Bliske's, just willingness to DP so aggressively. If your opponent, now especially on this patch, if your opponent wants to call out your DP, they have to stop doing everything. They can't even throw you anymore. So what does that give you? That doesn't give you opportunity to dash forward on their wake up and perhaps press buttons. And if you're a madman, perhaps even throw them if they're not ready to react. And Blisske. Is it 6? Is it 7? It's 6. All right. So Blisske slowly knocking on the heaven's door, even despite the controller issues. Going into this matchup, we knew that Blisske is definitely gonna be the aggressor. What's the again? I impose the question: what is the opposite of underdog? And don't say upper dog, because that will get me going in a good way. Big counter hit. This damage is gonna hurt into Kara Super. Look at that! 2 bars of blood. That's almost the soft character worth of defensive modifiers there. Favorite to win? That's right. That's the one. That's the one. I like up. I like up dodge more. This is the throw. Good shimmy. And a conversion. There we go, that should get the kill. Even before, didn't even have time to burst. Although, I think, despite, no matter how mad you are, I think even as Blisske, you are not gonna burst in that situation, even if you have the opportunity to do so. Nevertheless, Blisske is still on the set point position. Lands straight in front of Maria. Plus frames, yeah, good on Maria, using the FD. FDing that 3k, sorry, that 6k out from Sin is so valuable. Basically makes Sin unable to continue the pressure unless he hard commits to a special cancel. I barely hitting with that close, sorry, that YRC. And Maria still in it to win it, perhaps. Would the racial bonus of all the Norwegian players, because like we've had Norwegian players with such sick comebacks. Almost every single Norwegian player that we've had on the show has performed some sort of miracle so far, coming back from the brink of defeat. Would that same racial bonus kick in when you're playing against your kinsmen? I guess we're gonna find out here. Bliskke looking like they wanna end it right here. Let's see what Maria has to say about that. A little bit of a stacker pressure. Yeah, that's gonna catch. Because Beak 1, even uncancelled, is so minus that is gonna be punished by the fast super of Nagoriyuki's. Difficult kind of RPS situations. If you wanna be absolutely safe, you would have to go Beak 1, Beak 2, and leave no gap. My good escape. Is Maria gonna catch? Oh, the very delayed, too heavy, scoring hard. And putting Bliskke once again on a set point position. With a little bit of an advantage here as well. Almost a full burst bar. I'm surprised that Bliskke no cancels out of those big 2D counter hits. I think because, especially since like, because the big counter hit window gives you so much time to hit confirm, generally tends to make the 2D counter hits like fairly hit confirmable, fairly easy big damage coming in. Right, Maria, however, let's see if Bliskke is gonna be willing to commit that burst here this round, or if we're gonna take it to the last one. Maria whipping a DP, the blood is slowly increasing. We are at a threshold where spending another special move is a kind of hard of. Oh, no matter, we are straight in. Spend the Fukyo, go into Samurai mix. What's the odds? What are the odds that they would block correct? Not very high, right? Set point position. Ooh, nice backdash, making Bliskke with that. Empty close slash into more pressure. -3, but Bliskke is not pressing the right button to get the hit in. Close slash, closest. Man, that was a super jump, wasn't it? Because Naga's close slash was nowhere near reaching Bliskke. Good interruption after the Blade. You are -3. Hoof into Kara cancel super. Hard knockdown. Any hit is gonna do it. Deflect shield. Yeah, spend the meter. Get back in there because you have so much. And there we go. The Elk 2 into +8 frames allows Bliskke to basically hold Maria still. No backdashes, no jumps allowed, and Bliskke takes it. 7-3 or 7-4. I'm not sure if they actually counted that earlier game, so it's something around that. But yeah, Bliskke definitely favorite to take this, and does indeed take it. One of the toughest mother hoppers of the Norwegian community. But a great match from both players nonetheless. All right. Now, it is past 8 p.m. CEST. Let's see what kind of options we have available. Because our watch will end here. Bounty Hunters 7 matches of this week have been completed successfully. I will give a short shout out too. If you wanna sign up for future events, you can of course join my Discord, where the sign up forms are gonna be posted shortly after we go offline. But otherwise, yeah, I think we're gonna go and rate the gender cross up again. I think that's That's the only thing on at the moment, because whatchamacallit, Wanted is bi-weekly, right? And they had it last week, so it should be skipping this week. Alright, but thank you all for watching. Thank you everybody who was who took part in making of these matchups. And thank you all the viewers at home as well. Hope you have a nice Sunday and hope you have fun. If you choose to watch Gender Cross up there, just getting started there. So, you know, another extra 3 hours of Guilty Gear gameplay ahead of you if you're actually gonna watch the whole tournament. But I'm gonna sign up for now. Till next week, everybody stay safe. Thank you so much and peace.